Check my lights. Hey, Astro. There we go. Damn, nobody's around. It's a weird day. Real weird. What the fuck? Oh my god, I didn't see how in-depth this was. Oh. Before I start.
Hi. If you're watching this, I just escaped barely with my life from Destiny's Kick or Keep. I understand many of you aren't fans of Destiny, and the point is, okay, the way that I view Kick or Keep, it's not that, I go on there and, that just means I'm a Destiny fan. The way I view it is, Destiny is the Roman elite, okay? And the Roman elite need to be entertained, alright? What do the Roman elite get to entertain themselves and the people? Gladiators. And unfortunately I lost. I'm a gladiator. Thankfully I survived to fight another day, but barely.
Stan
And so, oh yeah, you have to watch an ad. Fuckhead. Late to the VOD, bitch. Shit, I don't know how to orient with the camera. Okay, Escape the Matrix shirt. Okay, beautiful front piece right here, and then the back just goated in the sauce. Completely, I hope I'm typing this correctly. I don't know, I'm okay. Boom. Escape the Matrix, baby. Only at gokamerch.com. And if you want...
Jesus Christ. That's so aggressive. It's so much.
Be cautious about having an unironic position, you know what I mean? So like I respect that. It's not that you're a pussy. I don't think that at all. Like I'm a very similarly minded where it's like if I'm being deadly serious, like I want to actually think it through. But yeah, in the case of like this blood sports, that works really fucking well, and I respect it. Again, I was, damn, honestly.
Canklemore said, when I was describing his life philosophy, the first thing that came to mind was libertarianism. Yeah, I mean, libertarianism, to my understanding. Another interesting thing is,
In my mind, I was like, okay.
She was trying to promote her OnlyFans.
Stop talking about me. A 10 cam 01. Alright. Joker, please be careful with the... Stop. Okay. Wishing you a swift... Hey, thank you for 420, bro. Stale, but the... First aid.
She then fired back and said,
Yo, what's good?
Good.
I was just looking at the Kai Cenat allegations.
Oh, shit.
Pretty crazy, and it seems like he got her back. It was pretty funny.
Whoa, okay. Do you want to give me a rundown, or is your chat already too aware?
Yeah, so the basic rundown is that this girl accused him of tricking, which I guess in this world basically means paying her for sex, and she claimed it was $5,000
Right.
to pay her for sex. He showed transaction history showing that he had only paid for her Uber. She then fired back and said, well, he used a different iCloud account, and also she leaked a picture of him sleeping with his dick out.
Wow.
So then what he did...
This girl sounds awful. What the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
So he purchased domains under her name, so that anytime you look up her name, it redirects to him shitting on
Hey,
her.
Ollie.
What?
Which is... He bought, like, LaylaRed.com.
Holy shit,
And,
Kai Cenat is like a player then. Like he's fighting her. You know what I mean? Like he's not just being quiet. Whoa, what?
Oh, no. He publicly shit on her. He called her a hoe, and then he purchased domains under her name to fuck
Dude.
her, which is justified in my opinion.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, like just based on what you just told me, which is obviously not a full picture, but like yeah, based on that sounds like some of the most scum behavior I've ever heard. Like what? I'm confused as well. Like she tried to expose him for paying for sex, but not that he like molested her or anything. Like what was the allegation?
Oh shit. I forgot that I had this on. I forgot I had the fucking music on.
No. Just that he paid her for sex. By the way, I turned my camera
Wow.
on if you want to use that on Discord or whatever on your stream.
Okay.
But for
All right.
continuity. But anyway, yeah,
This
basically
music
that
on
was it.
instead.
And then at the end of it, she was like, and I know
Much more
that you're like P. Diddy,
chill.
who is under crazy allegations right now, as you know. And she's like, her justification was that he told other guys not to sleep with her, basically.
Right. Okay. And he was doing the right thing. Like, let's be clear. But yeah, fair enough. Okay. Damn. All right. Here, what up? You're live right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Sweet. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like he did the right thing. Like, sounds like someone you should warn your friends about. But anyway. And so
Yeah.
I'm confused. Yeah. So she literally was just trying to basically like, you know, bring
She
down.
was trying to promote her OnlyFans, basically. Yeah.
But it's again, the allegation isn't even like misconduct, right? It's literally just that.
No,
that's crazy.
it's just
It's
that
her
he tried
claiming,
sex.
yeah, it's her claiming that she was worth $5,000 to like a celebrity. Does that make
Yes.
sense? Yeah, that's horrible.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fucking scum as hell. Jesus Christ. Wow. That's
Who
it's
was
interesting.
it that
I
was
was
telling
wondering
me
like,
about this?
damn, Kai Cenat is mainstream as
yesterday
fuck.
that
Like he's like as high
I
as you could
knew
probably get
this
right now
was,
with like
some
live streaming.
BS.
And
Yeah, huge.
yeah, I was surprised that he kind of would take that angle, but it makes more sense now, understanding basically that that she literally was a
Oh, it was
complete bad
Henry.
actor. Like there's no like it's not even like there's like allegations that need to be figured out in court. It's like she just literally tried to fuck him over.
I mean, not that this
Well,
is
it
any
seems like
like
for this new
definitive
generation of
evidence,
streamers,
but
they're way less concerned with how people in the audience will perceive it, and if it's like the right thing or the wrong thing. They're way less like they're not PC at all. Like with Kai Cenat, Aisha Speed, even like Jinxie to an extent. Like they've all done kind of out of pocket shit. They don't seem to really care about like if people think they're like the best person ever. They just kind of care about making funny content, and that's it. Which I kind of like. I feel like they're not pandering to the Twitter mob. They're just willing to do what they think is right in the situation.
Yeah, no, well, bro, I mean, let's be real. Like, if someone tries to fuck over your empire, your business, and honestly, just like imagine if a dude did that, right?
What do you think about that combo with him?
Actually, so okay, I liked it. That was fun as fuck. First of all, I'm glad that Ice Poseidon actually joined because when I saw it, let's be clear, okay, Tom. When you asked me to come on to Kick or Keep, okay, you sent me the potential roster, and it was a bunch of people that were not
Hey,
that
Jessica.
well known. Let's just put it like that. And in my mind, I was like,
what's up?
okay, all right, you know, I have a chance. You know what I mean? And then this fucking morning, I check the roster and I see Ice Poseidon, Action Man, and Vegan Gains, and I'm like, oh fuck. Oh, okay. So I gotta step it into fucking high gear. Unfortunately, I tripped I fucking fell down the stairs before the thing started, so I wasn't like thinking fully straight. But long story short is that I was pleasantly surprised to see Ice Poseidon, because in my mind I love the challenge and it's kind of funny, you know what I mean? But I knew for a fact that guy was gonna kind of free ride that competition. I don't know what actually happened, bro. Can you fill me in? Who the fuck won? Because I actually just passed out like immediately after.
Vegan Gains won. Basically, the conversation ended up panning over to ethics around gambling.
That's a big L for fucking Ice.
Ice made the case that children should be allowed to gamble because he gambled on RuneScape, and then he started. I assume it was kind of an ironic argument, but he said that children should be allowed to do fentanyl if their parents say it's okay.
Right.
And Vegan Gains crushed him there. I thought Ice might have won just on the fact his arguments were so outrageous.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Them. Yeah.
Like Ice Poseidon's angle, and this is why I do approach these kind of tactically, right? Because it is, you say it and it's true. This is just gladiator fighting. Like, it's just kind of for entertainment. It's not that serious, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like I'm thinking in my head, like, how the fuck can I win? And in my mind I'm like, okay, I know that Ice Poseidon's a kind of a crackhead. He's definitely he's gonna try to have like the most outrageous takes. He's already kind of hateable. So I was like, I'm gonna fucking target Ice Poseidon so that hopefully I can rally support in antagonism to him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The problem was fucking Vegan Gains, bro. Destiny's chat loves him. He is a legend. And oh man, I cozied up to Vegan Gains. Like I was thinking in my head, like, that makes a lot of sense, because obviously if you make too many fucking enemies, if one of them wins the round, right, like, you're gonna get juiced. But yeah, I befriended Vegan Gains, and then he saved my life. Like, he didn't vote me out, but then he basically just gained too much popularity. I got nuked. But yeah, Vegan
Gains is really fun to argue with, and he's fun to listen to because he's very passionate, and he does always bring it back to veganism somehow. That is a thing he's guilty of, but I think he's a very entertaining person on those shows. So yeah, it was good. What do you think about the conversation with Ice? Where, thank you, Austin Taste, for the 5 gift memberships. Holy shit, fuck my ass. I found it very interesting and also not surprising that he said what he said about his basically view on life, which is, I think I described him as a
you said sociopathic nihilist, yeah, which I think is accurate.
He seemed to agree. He seemed to agree with that.
Yeah. I think it was weird because I confused the statement. I said, I think, nihilistic narcissist or whatever. He actually kind of got pissed when I said narcissist, but I like that segment. That's why I was leaning into him so much, because I was actually just kind of curious, you know what I mean? Like, because I wanted to see how consistent he was. That was the big thing, right? Like, people can say that. People can say.
Just use the auto answer. But yes. Talking about what I typed in my general chat? Are you replying to my general chat in my chat? Is that what's happening right now? Is that what's going on, Fairy?
That, like, oh, I don't care about anything, it's just about myself. But I wanted to see if that was authentically his philosophy, and like through like asking about the kids thing, you know what I mean? Because a lot of these kick streamers, they like,
he would be wrong
as if they don't give a fuck about anything. But like through asking him about his kids, I kind of believe him. Like, I think he's consistent. You know what I mean?
It's funny.
Yeah, I think he actually doesn't really care about anything, which is weird. Which is why I asked him if he was happy on that stream, because it doesn't. I guess I can't imagine being happy in a world where I don't care about anyone else. You know?
No, yeah, bro. Like, let's be real. Like that philosophy,
I feel like
only leads one place, and it's
all of
death,
my.
You know what I mean? Like, if you center your entire life around yourself, and this is why I refer to it as narcissism. I don't talk about narcissism in a way where it's like you have a fucking illness. It's more like it's an orientation of your life where it's like you revolve your entire life around your desires, your immediate desires, your fucking maybe long-term desires. But at the end of the day, when it entirely revolves around your desires, when you die, it's just like a black hole. So like everything you're doing,
like hedonistic desires too. Like he doesn't seem to really care about having anyone around him, which is like a normal desire people have, like to feel connection or something. For whatever reason, he has no desire for that, seemingly.
And it's interesting. Like, okay, there's a difference between being a hedonist, I think, and being someone who like really wants power. Does this make sense? So like, okay, in my mind, people who desire power want something similar to hedonism, which is that they want what they want. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so like a hedonist and someone who wants power, they both want to be able to do whatever they want, right?
Yeah.
And so, but someone with power, like they almost will always try like harder to gain, usually like more influence, more power, and they'll usually have a reason, like an actual something that they think it's like building toward, right? That they'll like, again, it's usually cope, but they'll use it to justify it. Whereas the interesting thing with Ice is that it might actually be more authentic, like hedonism, because he literally just was admitting like, I'm not building toward anything. Like this is it. Like
No. Yeah, one person in chat pointed out something interesting, which is that Ice claims that he is a nihilist, but he also cries about his viewers hating him. He does do that.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing is, have you seen the old Ice Poseidon crying stream where he's outside in like the middle of the night?
Maybe, but I don't remember.
It's basically a clip where he talks about, this is like when streaming is really kicking off for him IRL.
Right. Yeah.
And he talks about the fact that he has no friends, he feels no connection to anyone, he hasn't even talked to his parents, and he's extremely lonely. And he's literally crying about it. He's like alone.
This is old, but yes, I remember. Like this is very old, I think. But yeah, I remember it.
So I wonder if this is like a belief he's grown into, or if this is like a cope around the way he lives his life, because he, once again, is, like he said, willing to lie to someone for his own gain. Like I really wonder to what extent his like mental process is coherent around this, or if he actually is like upset about this and is just like basically accepted this as his lifestyle to get where he wants to be.
Yeah, I think it's a cope usually. Like again, he didn't give me good evidence for that, right? Because I was trying to like find the kind of inconsistencies or whatever. But I do think it is kind of a cope where it's like, if you just every relationship you have, this is why I asked him like how many relationships have people fucked you over in, right? And he, for some reason, he only said one, but it's like, okay, that's probably not true. But anyway,
the question is, does he just fuck people over first?
Yeah, you're right.
Dude's got a main.
And then he said a few,
you know?
And it's like, okay, so if you're somebody who all your relationships are like toxic or fucking, they just end in like some confusing, annoying, like you know, circumstance.
I don't need to listen to them
just
like
adopt,
psychoanalyze vegan gains. The fuck? Just decided not to type the second Z that I actually did click. Kind of shocked you got off.
That's a good way to start it. Hello. Hi. We have some stuff to finish up. So last night, if you were with us, was when we. We have some stuff to finish. Okay, all right, we're good. Okay. Leak.
Kill me.
You can tip. If you use super chats and tips, you can also use our alerts menu. Things. Just like I overinflate my ego when we get a lot of likes on the stream, and people also make sure to subscribe to the stream, right? Again, 37 of you here, 10 likes. Let's pump those numbers, baby. All right.
Hey, Emery.
Use them for the betterment of the show sometimes, like, but it's just not
Dude, I'm here for that lo-fi music more than anything. That's nice.
I'm surprised you didn't pop in for the title.
Well, I'm here for that too. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. It's like 2 a.m. and I'm like, what the fuck? This motherfucker's streaming while it's supposed to be my catch up on my sleep time, but I couldn't avoid not coming in and giving my thoughts and all that good stuff.
Shitting on SHITTNEY.
True. Has to be done.
Absolutely has to be done. The bubble bitch needs to fucking drown.
Pop that bubble. Pop that bubble, please.
Indeed. Drown in suds. Bitch. Yeah.
Dude, it was like, the thing that pissed me off was like, okay, like you're dehumanizing kids, whatever. I'm already mad about that. I would respect it so much more if it was like, I'm gonna stand on 10 toes and say, yeah, I did that shit. Instead of like doing the disingenuous shit where it was like, oh, I didn't say that, but I suggested it. And it's like, what's the fucking difference by this point? Like, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty snaky and stupid. There's like no reason at all.
Yeah, and a lot of people were like, well, she didn't say it. And it's like, bro, I feel like there's a lot of people that are like trying to gaslight us, like turning a simple 2 + 2 situation into calculus. And I'm like, this situation is like very clear as day. Why are you guys complicating it? It's very odd.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm blown away that she actually tried to argue this away. Like, it is so bad. It's so fucked.
Yeah.
Like, if she just owned it, it would not be this rough. It would not be this rough, but this is fucked. We're speaking a different language. Fucking kill yourself. In a different language.
Jeez. I'm part of that. I'm part of that like ideology that Mr. Girl shares, where it's like I don't really normally like dehumanizing language, but it was like a situation where it's like my emotions are at an all-time high. And it's like you're already doing this, and like my brain is just like livid, and I'm like, fuck it. Like I'm gonna use the language. Like I don't fucking care at this point.
Yeah.
Oh man. I think I don't know. I'm mad at Drowsy too. Not like not mad at him like Brittany Simon, but like I'm just like I feel like him and so many Mr. Girl orbiters like Smith or whatever. I don't know why. Like it's very clear that like if they knew anything about how like Mr. Girl thinks and how like we've already exposed this woman before for many different things. Why are they working with her? She's clearly like manipulative and like very much disingenuous in every single way. It's just like I don't know. I guess they need the connections.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. That'll do it. Fucking not really having any other path to like YouTube success, I guess. It's like your main connection to anybody. Right? Isn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't she Drowsy's like one connection to someone?
Wick TV as well.
Okay,
I'm
so
trying to
it
think.
makes sense why he's not
Is there
ditching Brittany.
any more connections? I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's...
I think it was like on Twitter, Smith was trying to turn it into this is about Destiny, guys. And it's like, no, well, bro, like, do you know who the fuck you're talking to? I'm so fucking openly critical. JSTLK's audience hates me. Like, bro, like, what are you talking about? It would harm Destiny, not her viewers, unless them hating Destiny is a harm in of itself. Like, he just completely misses the point. He's like so on the whole, like, the train of like, all it has to be about like just Destiny, and that's the only point. That's the only reason people are mad. And it's like, well, don't get me wrong, it's a factor, but that's not the reason a lot of people are mad, or at least the reason I'm mad in particular. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This was incredibly slimy. The whole thing is really gross. And then what was it? JSTLK earlier was saying that people thought that you were influenced by his clip, but that hadn't even come out yet. You were the reason he created the clip in the first place.
Yeah, that was wait. It's like the chicken. Did the egg come before the chicken, or it's like what came first? Like, oh my god. It's like, did you watch the clip? I'm in the clip. What do you mean?
Are you really? I haven't seen the clip.
Yeah, I'm in the clip. Like, it's like the first part of it is like, here's what she said. Like, way back.
I have seen it. Fuck.
And it's like the second part is like me like saying like, this is what you said, and she's like denying it, but not really denying it. She's like, I didn't say it, but I did suggest it. And like, that's where I got really, really mad, because I'm like, you think we're stupid? You think I'm stupid? Like, just stand on 10 toes and say like, yeah, I said it. And
yeah,
you would have like, she would have had me there, to be quite frank.
Yeah,
I would have been mad, but I don't. Yeah,
shit's insanely slimy. Gross.
and that's usually the problem I end up having with people, is like, in the space where it's like, I'll say, hey, you did this really, like, or like, even by your own ethics and morals, something hypocritical or something really bad here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll say, here's why. And then I was like, what ends up happening is like, oh, I can explain it like through like 20 different ways, and like, it's just the most disingenuous representation of like what happened. And it's like, but that's still like, I have to like untie everything. It's like, I would respect it more if he just said, yeah, I did something bad and hypocritical, and so fuck you, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'd respect that so much more. It's why I respect like that's why I respect so many people that I watch that, like, that I think in certain ways are not that good of people, but like, I'm like, oh, like, this is entertaining, and they stand by what the fuck they're saying, like, not alluding to anything else. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like she just tries to tiptoe too much.
Yeah.
I'm Brazilian lad. He said, can I come on and just accuse Emery of sweeping for Destiny and call him the F slur/slurs?
I got the pass, by the way. That's, you could comment on the TOS thing, but
Allie, you're trolling.
it's all love, bro. I love that word.
What? The
That
F
word's-
slur?
Dude, it's so sick. It's such a good word.
It is a good word.
It's just a good way of saying, like, you're really, really obnoxious and annoying, and I fucking hate you in, like, the best way possible. It just so happens to be
It just
directed
feels
towards-
like a hard-hitting word.
Yeah. It's fun.
Allie, do you actually not know? You gotta be trolling. Okay, so you know what? I'll show the clip first, and you'll understand. If you can't understand, then you have some problems. I don't know if that's gonna do it. No, it will not. I don't remember how I searched for it before. What was it? Wait. There we go.
JSTLK creates drama that isn't real. Destiny's
Ugh.
blocked for being a shit father and a shit partner. And how dare he lecture Daisy over parenting when he doesn't even tuck his kid into bed every night? You know who's a better parent than the parents who don't tuck their kids in at night? People who decided not to have babies. People who have had abortions. Your baby better off dead.
Why did you feel the need to say that Nathan would have been better off aborted since Destiny doesn't tuck him in every night?
I didn't say that. But where'd you hear that?
Well, you actually did. You actually did. You said you said people that are born with their parent not being there all the time would have been better off aborted. So yeah, you kind of did suggest that.
Wait, do you want to take this call?
Honestly, I'm not that surprised, like a hater's calling in, but I didn't say that. You just misunderstood it. But that's okay. We speak different languages.
Yeah. Yeah. There is no disagreement about what she said. There's none. People that disagree about what she was obviously implying, they're not worth talking to because they're dumb. Just like the purest form of retarded. None. She absolutely implied that Nathan should have been aborted. Several things someone might be upset by. What do you mean?
I want to be pretty clear. There's some people that were like, this guy, he's on our side now. Unironically, they were like, he's not a Mr. Girl fan anymore. He's a Destiny fan. Or they're like, why are you switching up and defending Destiny all of a sudden, bro? Do you guys those people? Do you guys understand that like I cannot like Destiny and still think somebody did something wrong and said something wrong about Destiny or Destiny's kid and think that's like morally reprehensible?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry to surprise you guys, but there are certain people who like actually try to live by certain principles and try to stay consistent. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I try. So when I go up and I'm talking to her, I think what she did was suggest that a single parent household or like people that are raised in certain households that are full of struggle like that. In a way, she's suggesting that she's dehumanizing them. She's basically saying you're better off dead. You might as well not be alive. You might as well be aborted just because like one parent is not giving you enough love or attention, or like you're in a shitty situation. Like fuck off. Like you're better off. Like it's very dehumanizing. As a person myself who's got abandonment issues with a parent, and then I have a friend also, and so many other people just live with that shit. Like it's just like she's very privileged. She's extraordinarily like she doesn't even realize what she's saying is like actually pretty harmful to spread around. It's like a way to suggest that like if you're going through struggles, you're gonna be like a worse person or some shit like that. I don't even know if that's what she's intending to say, but that's like what ends up happening usually.
What's kind of crazy is that even when she said she implied it, or when she said I didn't say that, you said you implied it. She said, well, I didn't say it. She kind of did say it because she says. She makes the implication first, and then later kind of goes back and says, not explicitly, but almost. It's like as far to explicitly as you can get without it actually being explicit. She's like, in case you didn't understand that I was talking about Destiny earlier, Destiny doesn't tuck his son in at night using the exact same fucking verbiage that she used before.
Yeah.
It's like so obvious. And she literally names him this time and goes down every single qualifier that she said fits the criteria for having their kids being aborted.
And it seems like the argument's mainly being made out of like a petty beef that she has with Destiny in her not her parenting, his parenting. It's just ridiculous. It's stemming with like resentment, rage. Like she's clearly mad at Destiny. She holds a lot of resentment. That's the other thing I hate about this person. Like from day one, I've been saying she is holding in rage. She is not letting like anger out in a healthy manner. She's fake as fuck. The forced smile. Oh my god, dude. We see through you. It's so transparent. Anyone who has any like these people are like so transparent to me. It's so obvious. I hate people like that. Like they rub me the wrong way. That's like lizards. They're like lizards. They're fake people.
I've never liked Brittany. I've never liked Brittany. But it's, I don't know. It's just so fucking. And Mantis, I know she doesn't think that Destiny's a good dad. That's fine. But all of that to say his kid should have been aborted is crazy. If it was more like critique instead of something that fucked, just to like what is Nathan, like 12, 13? There was no other person that could have fit in those qualifiers. None. Not a single other person. She was talking about him without saying his name, and then later on went and said his name and said all the qualifiers that she said to not say his name with his name.
So I'm getting the vibe from like the way he talks about how he parents his son, that like while he's like a little bit more distant in terms of where he is, that there's like a lot of communication going on, like in general, to like parent him still, even from a distance. Now, I don't know if that's like the perfect way of doing everything. I don't know, but his son seems fine from what I can see. Like, mind your fucking business. He's not beating the son, as far as I'm aware. He's not doing anything cruel.
Mantis, that's not what I'm saying. Yeah. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he's 13. He probably shouldn't. Nobody should ever show him that clip because he's a kid. He's not like an adult now that would like be able to process that and parse it a little differently.
Mantis is trying to say that we're saying that like she suggested that they get rid of Nathan as a 13-year-old. I'm so sorry that you just do not understand the conversation at all and what we're actually saying. I don't know how you think that's the case. I don't know how Brittany tried to spin that as the case. That's not what we're saying. It's not even close. But okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I know he says all that stuff that he probably would have if he was in a different situation with his ideological leanings. Oh, I don't think that's much better.
JSTLK said earlier on stream when he was talking about this, when they were talking about those comments, or no, it was Queeman. He was saying, well, Emery would probably think the same about those comments, like probably something similar. He's right to an extent. Those are comments that I think are like more irresponsible, that like if his son ever sees them, I don't know, that might kind of fuck his son up a little bit, maybe. It's hard to really gauge. But those comments aren't near as bad because first of all, it's more about like this is a situation of like this probably would have happened if I think like this, and it's not really like a serious like I regret having him as a kid or anything. I don't know. That's just a whole other thing. Irresponsible, sure. I don't think it's like dehumanizing or anything. From what the descriptor is, I didn't see the actual clip.
I think Nathan has seen Steve say that, but I think he's probably explained it to him. Like it's not a regret that he had him, but at the time, obviously, he wasn't like ready, right?
Yeah, and it's like one of those comments too where it's like that's not like really dehumanizing of his son or anything. That's just like him being pretty straightforward and honest and saying if this happened like at this point in my life, yeah, like this I wouldn't have had my son.
Yeah.
Hey Mantis.
What's up? What's that? What am I listening to here? Is something playing on my fucking
What's up?
computer?
Oh, here.
Thank God. That was, it was so loud, dude.
I like the
Holy
lo-fi.
shit. Bro.
Is she wait, did I have her
here?
muted?
Hang on.
Oh yeah, I did.
What's the issue here? That someone thinks parents who like can't really look after their kids properly should abort?
You don't know the issue at all?
Well, that's what she said. She's basically, I watched that whole stream, and in that stream, there was a lot of focus on Daisy being told like what she should do with her pregnancy and how much of a baby trapping, gold digging, subhuman piece of trash she was. And she was pushing back on that because of the types of people, the category of people who were slandering her and telling her those sorts of things. So she's pushing back on it in a general way initially about red pillars, manosphere people. Like, you can put Destiny in that category. He does fit in that category because he was the one doing the same sort of stuff and she considers him a bad dad. That's her opinion. So all she was saying was parents who, like, people who get pregnant and they can't really look after the kid in like a good way that's good for their well-being, that's responsible financially in all sorts of different ways, then she's pro-choice, so abortion is a good option.
No, it's not. She said they're better off dead, which is dehumanizing people who have
That's
actually
a
grown up
joke.
with a single parent.
That's a hyperbolic
Dehumanizing of
joke.
people who have grown up in struggle and poverty. Yeah, no, it could be a joke, but it's also a serious statement and a serious critique on Destiny's parental skills, which is inherently attaching the kid to it, which is dehumanizing and fucked up, and that's what I criticize her for. And then what she said is that I didn't say it, I suggested it, which is disingenuous,
Hang
which
on.
is what
I mean, if you're not
also mad
pro-life,
about.
if you're not pro-life, how is it if you like, okay, so pro-lifers think that like a baby is, and even pro-choicers could think this, but they think life begins at conception. Like they think that. But a lot of people who are pro-abortion, they don't actually think that. They think it's a clump of cells and it's not dehumanizing to kill it. You're like,
It's
I don't know why you're doing that.
dehumanizing to say you're better off dead than being raised by a single parent with a distant parent.
Because the human exists at that point.
Yes, that's her opinion. She does think. I mean, you're just
So
upset.
she
Her
is
opinion
making
is
a qualified
that
judgment
sometimes
on
it's better off.
Destiny's
Hang on,
kid
I'm not
being
finished. I'm not
better
finished,
off
Murray.
dead than being raised by a single
I'm not
parent.
finished. I'm not finished.
Sure, I'll let you speak.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't. I think that is very clearly an option for a lot of people, and a lot of people take up that option. And I don't know why you're like saying that it's so insane for people to make a choice to say, I'm not ready for a kid, or it's like not a good time for a kid, or the kid is, I'm not going to be
No
able to
one
look
said
after
that.
the kid.
I think we both agree with that.
Yeah, no one said that.
So then I think what you're doing is you're now making a lot of like huge leaps, because she used Destiny as an example of someone who she considers a bad father, and like the way that he was ripping into Daisy. You realize that, by the way, that Destiny was telling Daisy that she should abort her kid because she is shitty.
Yeah, but
Person.
The difference is that Nathan is a kid already, and that fetus is still a fetus. We don't believe that's like a person.
But she's clearly not talking about Nathan as a 13-year-old kid.
I know. But
so then, if you know that, why do you keep saying that?
Because regardless
of wasn't talking about it like that.
Regardless of if you're killing the kid as a 13-year-old or as a 2-month fucking gestated, it's still the same person, but in a different form. The person exists now. This is brought into existence. You can't wipe that person out of your memory.
Yes, exactly. That's why saying something like what she said is not like, it's actually not, oh, hey, I hope this person should just be wiped out of existence. It's like a larger point being made about making the choice to abort.
What's the difference between saying that and saying, I hope you were never born, or I wish you were never born?
That's totally different. Because now you're directing, because now you're looking someone in the eyes who's alive and you're saying, I regret you. I wish you were never born.
If Nathan sees that clip and sees that she said that he's better off dead, or like kids raised like that are better off dead, what do you think Nathan's going to get from that?
That Brittany thinks that he's a bad dad?
No.
Yes,
what Nathan will get from that is not that Destiny is a bad dad. It'll be like, oh shit, like I was raised by a single parent. My dad was distant, more distant than most people, and that is a character reflection on me. I'm gonna grow up shitty and like a piece of shit by her standards, and so I might as well have been dead, and that is inherently dehumanizing. That's my point.
You realize the whole point of what she said was not about the child, it's about the parents. Why do you keep doing this? You keep moving it off the parents, and you keep moving it to the child.
Bad parenting from her standards is like children that are better off dead. How does that not make sense to you? Like children
That's
that
not about the kids. That's not about the kid.
It is about the kids.
It's also implying that Nathan is going to turn out like absolute shit.
Yeah. Maybe he will.
That's the whole point.
Well, maybe he will, but nobody knows that. That's whatever.
Look, I strongly advise you to not continue with that route because you are with tomfoolery, who needs that Destiny connection more than ever now. So I'd be very careful with the next words that you're saying about this guy's kid.
That is extremely slimy to start doing
the guilt by maybe Destiny's kid would turn out to be a piece of shit. I'd be very careful if I were you. I'd be very careful.
You realize I'm just making a... Okay, please do not threaten me with bullshit. Like, this is so slimy from you, Emery. Yes, you're extremely slimy. This has nothing to do with Tom.
Very, very careful.
This has nothing to do with Tom. I am my own person. This has nothing to do with Tom. Okay, I've heard you, and you can stop repeating yourself and trying to steamroll. Yes, the mute button would be really nice.
I'm just trying to help you out, so, make sure.
No, you're being a slimy little fucking weak.
Just be careful, man. Just be careful. I know.
Emery, I heard you.
I know you need it. Okay.
Are you done?
I was just helping you out. So I'm done. I'm good. I'm chill.
No, you're not trying to help anybody out. You're being a little piece of shit. That's what you're doing. This is a very classic Emery thing to do, actually.
All right. What was your argument?
I hadn't heard that one before.
Please do not. lump me in everything
The
I do
after
and say with
eclipse
Tom.
effect.
I am my own fucking person, and I have my own opinions. Thank you very much. And like this thing that you're doing where you try and like drag somebody else down, this is bullshit. I'm making a point about a pro-choice argument, and I'm trying to explain to you guys that her criticism was of the parents. And I don't know why you're doing this weird like Facebook mum thing where you're like, oh, save the kids, save the kids.
Yeah, what's the criticism again? Go ahead, repeat it. We'll walk you through it.
Of what?
We'll walk you through why you're wrong. Go ahead, repeat it. What was her criticism again?
How can somebody be wrong about an opinion they have on bad parenting?
How is the kid better off dead?
A lot of kids. What do you mean? If you have a parent,
can
who's
you
just
tell
going
me
to,
why
I'm
the kids
I'm
are
literally
better
trying
off
to, but you keep
dead?
talking over. You keep talking over me, but I'm trying to.
All right.
Let's say you have a parent who's a fucking drug addict, and they're pregnant, and they continue to do drugs.
And
what do you think a good option there might be? Are you pro-life or are you
It
pro-choice?
depends on the circumstances.
Are you pro-life or are you pro-choice?
It depends on the circumstances.
Yeah, it does. It depends on a lot of things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Whether or not you get an abortion. Yeah. And so if you cannot fulfill the duties that like you think are appropriate to be a responsible parent, then abortion is a good option. That is the take, and that is Destiny's take, and that is Brittany's take, and that is just the take. I don't know why you're doing this thing unless you just like feel really bad for Nathan.
I'll walk you through it again.
And it had nothing to do with Nathan.
Her take was directly aimed at Destiny and the Red Pillars, suggesting that while this is the case, it is responsible at times that some people are not meant to be parents, and that's understandable. Abortion's pretty understandable. She's implying, though, by the end of it, that kids are better off dead than being born in those situations, which is not necessarily true, and dehumanizing of kids raised in those circumstances, and is implying something of their moral worth or their future worth, which is dehumanizing, which is my problem again. And then she's again being disingenuous and saying she didn't say that when she suggested that. So again, sorry, you missed the point.
You still realize that the whole like the thing that she said that was the most hyperbolic was like in the most joking way possible. You're just going to turn it into
a joke can be an insult. A joke can be an insult as well.
She absolutely meant it.
And still mean it. Like I could call you like a bunch of names or whatever, and they could all be true or whatever, and I could be like, yeah, I'm joking, but like it's still insultive and it's still like me saying something that I think is true.
Okay. So this is all that's happening right now is you're just offended, and like who cares? It's her opinion.
Yes, I'm offended. Soy boy rage. Yes, I think like what she said was really disgusting. Cool. Yeah.
You definitely.
Do you have any other arguments other than like soy boy rage? Like, because like this is a.
Well, I mean, it's funny because like
if that's your only argument.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it was necessary to like tell someone to off themselves, but you know, you just.
I think when like one person is dehumanizing children, I think like it's pretty understandable that I'd be that mad to tell them to off themselves. So, I'm not exactly happy that I did that. I'm not exactly like proud of that, but like I don't really care that much. I don't really feel that bad about doing it. So, again, good try.
Well, then why are you not proud of yourself if you don't feel bad? You have no remorse or any kind of regret. It's kind of weird.
I don't necessarily feel like I need to be proud of dehumanizing language inherently, but I don't feel bad for saying it because I was very angry with somebody dehumanizing children, and I think people who dehumanize children are pretty scummy, and so I don't feel bad for them.
Okay, cool. So you don't like Destiny or people who think that it's...
Yeah, I don't like Destiny. Yeah, for a lot of different reasons. I know. And very similar reasons. So I think I'm being
don't like a lot of people, Emery.
I hate a lot of people. Yeah, I hate a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. So
you just keep talking constantly. Is this like a thing you do?
Yeah, it's a thing I do.
Why do you do that?
Because I hate you. Why wouldn't I talk over you? I don't respect you.
People.
I have literally no respect for you. Why the fuck wouldn't I? You're a fucking loser.
You hate a lot of people. It's really sad.
Go back to drinking wine, you fucking loser.
I'm over 2 months sober now. Thank you. I'll take that.
Get back on the bender.
Yeah, are you gonna like do the whole like you're an addict thing? I know I'm an addict. I'm in recovery now, so you can just keep saying it. I don't know if you think that affects me. It just
I
doesn't.
don't believe you, but okay.
This is what you do. You just go lower and lower and lower until you try and hurt people's feelings, and then later you come back and try and explain your way out of why you did something unhinged. La la la. It's kind of cringe.
I promise you, I will not explain anything. I don't really care. Go lower.
Okay, so you can just be offended by an opinion, and you can keep like crying about it.
I will. Let me be offended by an opinion. I think that's what the space is for, is when somebody says something dehumanizing or really shitty, we criticize them for it. Yeah. I think that's the point of the space, is generally to critique other people and shit on other people. Why are you getting mad when people do it?
I just think it depends how you're framing things, and I think you come from a place where you already don't like Britney, and so you take things and you manipulate them in a way to make it sound a lot worse than it was intended, and I think intentions matter more than necessarily what you gathered from it. Like, I think the intention is what matters here.
I don't care what her intention was.
That definitely isn't the point of this space, but I realize that that is what the spaces and all these spaces and YouTube channels are turning into. It's just places to like grab someone, put them up, and like to start bullying and harassing.
Didn't you know that from the day one of coming in here?
What do you mean?
You knew how toxic this space was, right?
Well, I actually came in hoping for like conversations and debate.
Aren't you weren't you in like tomfoolery server calling like one of the like black people like the N-word hard R and shit like that? Like, you know how toxic the space is. Like, don't front like you give a fuck. Don't front like you give a fuck. You don't give a fuck.
No, nobody used a hard R. I don't know why you're changing it to that. And
yes, you did. But okay, like, go ahead with pretend you don't. Queenman will just show it later, or somebody else will. Like, you're a fucking liar. Who cares?
No one's showed a hard. No one's used a hard R. I don't know why you're changing
You don't give a fuck. You're just mad that it's somebody that you like that I'm criticizing, or that anyone's criticizing. That's all you care about.
Not.
Is that
because
it's
I don't
somebody
think
that you like being criticized,
you're just gonna
which
keep
is
talking.
understandable.
Okay. No, it's that I think intentions are a lot more important, and I think that people forget about intentions, so they like prey upon people with very good intentions, and they twist and manipulate things in a way that makes them a lot more malicious than they actually are. When the malicious people are the ones who are doing the twisting and manipulating. That's the problem I have. You get me? You feel me?
That's always been the space. Why are you surprised?
Well, I don't have to be surprised to think
why
that's
are you
not
bitching and moaning? You do this too, I'm sure. I'm sure
No,
everyone in this space has done this once or twice. I'm pretty sure everyone in here too. They probably do it like not even knowing how malicious it actually is. They think it's a good cause or some shit. I could be doing it now and I'm not even aware of it. You could be right. I really, really just fucking hate this piece of shit. But like, are you gonna pretend like I'm being insincere?
I think it's weird. I think you are very insincere, Emery. I do.
Okay, well that's fine, but you're gonna have to just continue believing that.
Anyone who
to cope, I guess.
Anyone who references Queeman as like a source for something is definitely insincere.
Okay. Could you like provide a reason why he's like insincere?
Are you kidding? Have you watched his content?
I've watched plenty of his content, a lot of people's content in here, yeah.
You don't think it's laced with like hatred and ridicule and like just wanting to prey upon whoever he can because he has a hate boner for like everything, and so he tries to twist things. I'm not saying he can sometimes be reasonable, but he uses that as a shield to then further just be completely malicious. Like very
That's
malicious.
like everyone in this space, he's just more honest about it.
So because he's honest about being malicious, it makes it okay? Are you for real?
It doesn't make it okay, but it's just more honest. I respect
Yeah,
that
no,
like 10 times more than like
I'm
most
kind
of
of
these
getting sick of
motherfuckers
this.
here that are just like, yeah, like I just think like, I'm just gonna front like I'm like this nice, decent person, but really like I'm just manipulating situations or like I'm being more bad faith than I
Wait,
actually
I'm
am.
confused.
Like the
See,
people
I'm
that
kind of
like
getting
you're complaining about being bad faith aren't as bad faith as you would actually imagine them to be.
no,
They're
no.
just
See,
more
here's the
like
problem.
hostile towards you.
No,
They
no,
treat
it's
you
not
more like
about
a
me.
joke, so it just feels that way.
No, it's not about me. It's not about me. This is something that I'm kind of getting sick of hearing is, oh, because they're honest about their lying, manipulating, malicious like actions, it makes them like better somehow. Like maybe like you get one notch on the you're slightly better because you're open about it, but I don't think it makes you a good person to be open about how malicious you are. I think that's actually fucked up.
Okay, there's malicious and then there's lying. So I said they're more honest about being malicious and like kind of like more dehumanizing to you guys, like in a way where it's like they treat you like carnival freaks. They treat me like a carnival freak as
Wait,
well,
I
I'm
thought
sure, in many
dehumanizing is a bad
occasions.
thing.
So it's not like you're alone in this. They
Wait,
do
I thought
this like I think they
dehumanizing was a
even do this
bad
to like
thing.
people in their own group. They just find it amusing. I don't think for the most part they really lie. I mean, I'd have to be shown like evidence of them lying. I can't think of anything that they've specifically lied about off top. But you're
I know
welcome
a
to like
lot
provide
of
me some
things that
links or
they've
some
lied
shit.
about. I know a lot of things that they've lied about, but we're not going to start litigating the lies that these people tell. There's
And you know
far
what?
too many
Look,
to count.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have lied about anything. Look, I'm gonna give you that. But
Of course they have.
I'm gonna
Oh my
need
god.
evidence before I start critiquing them. If I have something like really strong, like that you could give me that like I'd actually like warrant like, oh my god, like I think that's something like worth going at them for. Which by the way, going at them in the first place is kind of pointless. Like that's
Okay, you
who
talk so
cares?
much and I lose interest halfway through almost all of your sentences. It's so boring.
Yeah, you seem
Yeah.
engaged. You've been responding to
No,
most of it.
I'm really not. If you're upset with some kinds of dehumanizing and not other kinds of dehumanizing, I just can't take you seriously. Like, do you have
Yeah,
any consistency?
I'm upset with dehumanizing children. That's kind of the line for me. Yeah,
So it's just children. It's not just people in general. You don't mind
I mean, there's a
dehumanizing when it's
specific
adults.
line if you're specifically harassing and over and over and over in a way where like you're gonna get them to kill themselves. Yeah, sure.
I think there's a lot of people in the space who do that sort of harassment, and they keep doing it over and over and over again, and they
Like,
think it's
sure,
very
if you're like
funny.
specifically calling people pedophiles when you know they're not, or you're like maliciously framing them as like
Or
something
yeah,
that they can't really come back from, like, yeah, sure, that's like the line, of course, where like I don't fuck with you at all.
yeah. I
But
think there's something recently happened where that was happening quite a lot. Yeah, I do. Yep.
the entire space is built off of bullying
You
and
seem to
proving
mind about
people
that.
wrong and getting shit on. So I don't know why you're surprised again.
Wait. Is
Yeah.
this the argument of like if you can't beat them, join them that you're doing right now? Like, oh, everyone just does that, so fuck it. Who cares?
I mean, you've already done this yourself. So wait, why are you trying to frame yourself as somebody who doesn't do this?
Oh no, I don't just like randomly go at people. Usually people come at me
I
and
don't
I
think this
fight
is the
back.
case at all. You have done this repeatedly.
No, I don't randomly go at people or choose like weak targets or anything. People come at me with like ridiculous things or they are slandering or they're mischaracterizing or mislabeling, and I usually fight back. That's if you're gonna throw bows, I'm gonna throw them back. That's usually how I operate, and I don't just target like people who I think have good intentions. I usually like defending myself or attacking back at people who I think have done things in bad faith, maliciously, or are lying or are mischaracterizing. Absolutely. Totally different.
Yeah, well,
And you're just using the bad faith argument, like, okay. That's what
I mean,
I'm doing as well. What do you mean? That's what a lot of people are doing in the space. What the
okay, you
fuck are
see,
you talking about? You're no different.
You keep, yeah, I disagree, but you keep doing this thing though, where you keep saying like, "This is just what
Wait,
happens."
wait. Oh, I just realized you
I'm not
fucking.
done. I'm not done.
I just realized you sidetracked me from the original topic because you were losing on it. But
What, the Britney thing? We can go back to the
you're
Britney
good
thing
at
if you
this.
want.
Okay, you're good at this. Can we get back
We
to
can
the
go.
original topic because you seem to have gotten lost, and
We
you
can go
took me
back to
with
the
you.
Britney thing if you want. Okay. Okay.
Sure.
When did
Where
you
were
stop?
we last off? Because I remember just shutting you down and then you changed it.
We can go back to the Britney thing.
Sure.
Personally, I think what she said was made in general and in a larger degree. I think the clip that JSTLK did was very like salacious. I think the way he put it together was to make it sound like she was definitely referring to Destiny the entire time. I don't think there's any proof of that. I think what she was doing was she was rebutting a lot of people who were going at Daisy, telling her that she should abort because she could be a shitty mother and she's a shitty person, a shitty woman, a gold digging, baby trapping whore essentially. And I think she was pushing back on the kinds of criticisms they were making as people who she didn't consider were very good parents themselves. That's her opinion.
Who do you think she was referencing?
Oh, sorry.
When she said somebody was hassling her and
Hang on.
saying, "Well, you
I've got
don't
to
even
take
hang
this.
out with your kid." Who do you think she was
Give me 1 second.
referencing?
Give me 1 second. I've got to take this call. Shut
Sure,
up.
sure. Go ahead. Have fun. Who the fuck does she think she was referencing? I'm so confused. It's like 2 plus 2. It's not calculus. It's pretty simple.
I have no fucking clue what's going on.
Brittany Simon basically suggested that kids who are raised in single parent households and having distant relationships with their father or whatever like that are better off dead. So,
all right, sorry.
We critiqued her. So, who do you think she was referencing when she was talking about like a specific person getting at her and saying like, "Well, you don't even like tuck in your kids, so why are you talking?" Who do you think she was referencing?
I think there were two parts. I think she was making a general point in terms of a lot of people, like the FNF people, the Manosphere people, Red Pill people, and you can put Destiny in that category because he sort of fits in terms of like the bad parent thing. Sure,
Okay,
if you
so
like.
then I win.
But then, hang on, I'm not finished.
You already
And
proved my
then
point. She
later
was already
on,
referencing a specific person. She referenced specifically Destiny.
wait, you just took what I said and completely changed it.
No, you just agreed with me.
No, I said a category of people, first of all, and then later on in the stream, she talks about Destiny.
She grouped in Destiny with the Red Pillars. Yeah, so you agree with me.
Where?
And she got very
Prove it.
specific about one specific person talking to her and giving her shit. And she said that specific person doesn't even tuck their kid in at night. And who do you think that's specifically referencing? Who do you think the detailed response is to when she's saying
Wait,
that?
the first stuff that she's talking about.
It could only be
Destiny's
one person. It can't be any other Red Pillars. It has to be Destiny.
Destiny's name was never mentioned. I think she explained the whole tucking them in.
Do you know what a
means, like, not
subliminal
being
is?
there
Do you
for
know?
them.
Do you know what a sub is?
Okay. Do I ever get to rebut, or are you just going to keep doing this thing where you keep asking more and more and more questions?
Do
And
you ever have anything?
If
Do
so,
you have anything smart coming out of your mouth ever? Like, are you?
Okay, you don't want to have a conversation? I can go. It's fine.
Okay, have fun. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Do what you want. I don't really care. It's not my problem. I'm sorry, Cankle. Did you want to talk to her more? I apologize.
It's fine. But she came in here to argue, right?
Yeah.
But and I don't. Brittany.
This is your stream. It's not mine.
Brittany fucking 100% made the qualifiers only fit Destiny. It was the first couple of things could be spread a little. There were more than one person could fit in that. But then the berating that woman was added, and that was only Destiny. It was like the only one that's lectured her. I was just, I don't know.
How's everyone else doing?
Doing all right.
Huh. Why the fuck
man.
is this not?
I miss lo-fi radio so much. I miss it.
There you
Thank
go.
you. Thank you so much.
Sorry,
I needed
my
that.
bad.
I know
was
it
judging
wasn't.
comfortably in silence.
Yeah.
I'm chilling. No, just really baked. Listening, trying to understand what you guys are talking about. Like, I know, I have enough context to know what's happening, but I'm just hooked, so. I'm doing it in my own time.
Did I derail it or did she derail it? I forgot. Like, we were on the subject.
No idea.
I think
you
don't know.
you weren't engaging with each other, so it just kind of seemed like you were going to devolve into insults, and you did. It is what it is. It's like not that unexpected.
Well, she wasn't engaging with me for a while. I would make a point and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, it's very simple. Like, I said it earlier, it's just like, you're taking a subliminal is pretty easy. You say something that a lot alludes to a specific person that a certain audience that you have, or even other audiences like JSTLK will pick up on. You know who the fuck you're talking about. You just put in keywords, key things. It's pretty easy to tell. You don't have to say the fucking name. Like, yeah, sorry. Go ahead, play the video.
Okay.
To do in our life, right? We're gathering tools from the people around us. So I really pride my community in being introspective and open and thoughtful. I really pride my community in being very. Oh, Steven thinks I'm actually comparing them like in some moral sense, which I could not see at the time because I couldn't imagine anyone being that way. I don't think myself, my sister, my brothers, my husband, like nobody I know talk to anybody, but like I'm gonna make fun of you, right? Okay, to Justin Waller. And I'm going to give you context before I say it and after. We're talking about, I had just finished making fun of Jay Waller. Shout out to Justin Waller. I do make fun of a lot of people. You know, I'm happy to talk to anybody, but like, I'm going to make fun of you, right? Okay. I'm going to cast judgment. Okay, I was just making fun of Justin Waller. Now we're making fun of Andrew Huberman and talking about him because Andrew Huberman is a bad partner and would have been a bad dad. And I'm glad he was never able to make those babies come to term, the ones he had, because that woman probably feels relieved that she didn't end up making babies with a man who would have abandoned them, because he did abandon like her, right? Andrew Huberman had that whole scandal. We already covered it, right? So I'm relieved. I'm relieved that that never happened because that would have been really sad. Okay. Now, check this out. There's a litmus test I'm giving to people. If you think Andrew Huberman, it doesn't matter what he did or how he treated women. If you think it doesn't matter how Walter treats women, then you're telling on yourself, and I'm writing you off. I'm literally writing you off. If you genuinely do not think, how dare you lecture women for being sluts and having bad character while you're sitting there existing? This full context is within the Walter got Daisy pregnant context. So Walter got Daisy pregnant, and I am covering that news. So I am lecturing all the Menosphere guys, the Alpha dudes. I'm lecturing like Andrew Huberman fans. I'm lecturing all those people right now. The hypocrisy will never not be funny to me. These people have the audacity to make a living mocking women and saying they have bad character while they are sitting here, probably raised by women who they are. I bet their mamas are. I also went after Walter's mama in this clip, which I know is technically socially taboo, but you know, if your mama's a shit person, maybe she raised a shit son. You know what I'm saying? I think that's often true.
I'll give her this part was about red
talking shit on women
pillars.
because they can't say it to their own mama's face.
This part.
I think they're pussies, bro. I think they want to talk this shit to their mama's face, but they can't do it. So what they do is they get all these women to come on their podcast and they do it to them instead. Ain't no way you've got a good mama and you spend your life talking shit about women. There's no way. I don't believe you, bro. I love good men. My dad's a good man. He is. My dad would call men like this rats. Rats. He would call Walter a rats in the chat. I was raised by, in my culture, in my background, cheating is very taboo. Nobody cheats. Everyone dies with their partners. Everyone lives long and happy marriages. My grandparents were together when they were so in love, my grandparents. It was so beautiful. My aunties, my uncles, my parents, everyone's been married 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. I come from a long line of very strong marriages.
Right.
Rat. My dad's a good man. If you're like my dad, we chillin'. If you're not like my dad, you're a bad man. That's basically how I feel. There ain't no way you have a good mama, a good mother, a good spawn bringer, okay? And this is your decision in life. You know? I just don't believe you. But you know, whatever. You're willing to call other women hoes? Look at your own mama. Okay, okay, Okay. You want to blame these women for being fatherless? I blame you for being mamaless. Or mama, what's worse, a mom that's in your life that makes you a misogynist, or a man who leaves your life that makes you a slut? Both are pretty bad. And also, at the end of the day, you got to make a decision. Are you your parents' mistakes, or are you more than that? Now, of course, you got to go to therapy to deal with that, because that shit, exactly. So it doesn't even matter who your parents are. What matters is who you are. But yes, it matters who your parents are. It actually does impact you as a child. And the probability of you not repeating that cycle is, unless you do the work. This is all context, by the way. All of this is leading to the statement I make that JSTLK took out of context. And JSTLK even had to switch when they happened to make it look worse than it was. Because it wasn't even about, I haven't even mentioned Steven.
Really
Destiny's not even been talked about in this live stream. I am talking about the Manosphere right now. I'm talking about those people, right? Destiny as a consciousness
It's like
wasn't even brought up yet.
Overcomplicating the gaslighting nature of like, well, actually, here's the context of everything, but it's like, it doesn't really change anything about what you said.
Yeah.
At all. Like, you can...
Ironically, it's a pretty red pill tactic. I see them do this shit all the time. Oh, you took us out of context, and then they explain the context. It's like, oh, okay, you just strengthened the point they made. Thanks.
Yeah, a lot of people literally...
You didn't get all the
people
evidence. Here's the rest of
it. Dude, I feel like I couldn't be concise at when arguing with Mantis at points, mainly because it's like you have to try to make sure she like understands what you're saying. So you feel like you have to add more to it, even though it's like just baffling to me. It's like a very simple thing. I don't know why I have to explain this to people.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm going insane sometimes. It's just like, well, you gotta do, it's like, it's not hard. It's not hard to understand. I feel like if I had said this, or if somebody else said this, I don't know why. It's like picking favorites. This is like the whole space. We're picking favorites on, I like this person, so I'm gonna overcomplicate the situation and say, like, well, actually, like, it's so stupid. It's mind-boggling to me. Yeah.
Fair.
Hi.
What's up, Muggrab?
You know why you were right, you Emery? Do you know why you're right?
I read what you said. Do I understand why I'm right?
Yeah.
Brittany
sets a premise of children who don't get tucked in at night by their father were better off dead, and then specifically refers to that same premise later by saying Destiny doesn't tuck his child in. That's like directly saying that. Yeah.
Okay, I agree with you. I felt like I was saying that, but not the tuck in part. I was directly saying like, well, better off dead. Like they're better off dead. Like, I feel like what I do sometimes, especially in arguments, is I'm not a fucking debater, guys. I don't pretend to be. I like having conversations.
I'm not judging you, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying, in the same stream, she does a callback to a premise that she created.
That's
good enough for me.
That's what I was trying
whether
to connect.
Whether it was her intention or not, whether she's retarded or not, it's not for everyone to create space around her retarded bullshit.
Yeah, and that was what I was trying to connect in the first place. Was like, nothing's changed. She basically connects the whole thing in its entirety, and she doesn't have to say his name exactly directly, like until a little bit later on, and connect it with what you said was like tucking in to bed. It could be also that it's like super late night. Sounds like I'm making excuses, but yeah, but I don't know.
Still good. You're right.
Like it's simple. Yeah,
that's all that matters.
Yeah,
doesn't matter how you write, as long as you're right.
It's like 49 minutes in now. We're 50 minutes in. Okay, I'm still building up to the statement I'm making. Okay, motherless behavior. Motherless behavior, Fresh and Fit is motherless behavior. All these whatever podcasts, motherless behavior. All the women they have on the show, fatherless behavior. They honestly deserve each other. All you all are parentless. You were unloved as children. Now, obviously, I don't know this, right? I'm making a joke. I'm also saying something that I generally believe about people, that trauma is real and that your culture raises you, and that anytime your parents were bad parents, it shows in your behavior. And also, like, people say this about everybody. This is a pretty common idea that, oh, you know, how you ended up is your parenting. That could be true. It also can't be true. It's nuanced. But obviously in this instance, and I was really fiery this day. I was really spicy this day. Okay, I'm making a lot of jokes in high sarcasm to make my points, right? I'm trying to make a point that Walter and Fresh and Fit are not qualified nor anyone who falls into this category, which in this case would include Stephen Bonnell, to lecture people about being bad parents when they themselves either aren't parents, or if they are not up to the standard in which I would qualify them as good parents. They might be doing their best, and I think lots of parents are doing their best.
She
I also think most parents
she
are bad
doesn't
parents.
know if he's a good parent, though. Like, you could say that he's distant, and that could be a critique on, like, whether or not, like, that's a good part of your parent, like, that's a bad part of your parenting. But, like, you could be distant and still, like, connected with your kid, like, in a lot of ways, like constantly calling him, checking up on him, making sure like everything's all good. And also, I'm pretty sure if like he had made the call and said, "I want to like go see my dad," like I'm sure he'd be like, "Yeah, like I'll send you the first flight." It's just that like you could call it selfish or whatever. He's just choosing like business. And connections.
You notice in that rant, she literally said a point, and every point she said, she's like, "It could be this. It also could be this, or it's definitely this, but it could be this. I'm only joking, but I'm actually serious." And it was like every 4 seconds she said both ways. And I was just like,
she does that with like everything, where it's like, I'm gonna say this, but I'm not gonna go so far as to make a commitment. She doesn't commit to anything. That's the frustrating thing.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like you're, what is the phrase, like hedging, to where if you get called out on any part, you have like, "Oh, well, I said this though." It's like, well, yeah, you said fucking every response possible. It's like, even though they're all contradicting each other.
Yeah, it's pretty slimy.
I'm gonna have to clip that and listen to it again, because I was like trying to follow it. I was like, dude, I don't know what she's saying at all.
SHITTNEY Slimon.
And the ones that are ironically are doing their best always think they're doing worse than they are. You know how many amazing parents I have in my audience? How many amazing parents are doing so much? They're doing absolutely the best they can. They're trying so hard to prioritize their children, right? And they're like, "Brittany, am I being a bad parent?" I'm like, "Oh my God." It's like the parents who are doing the bare minimum, barely, or even abandoning their kids want all the credit. And the people that are literally doing everything they can still get down on themselves. And isn't that the irony, right? The irony is the people who need to improve think they're doing enough. And the people who are doing enough think they need to improve. And that's just life. You have no one to go home to on the holidays. I hope she does abort that baby so she doesn't have to have Walter as a dad. Just kidding. All life is sacred. Just kidding. I don't believe that either. I don't believe in objective morality. But also, I'm making a lot of funny jokes like I do when Baron Shapiro says, "We need to live in a society where we don't kill people unless they're unless they live in Gaza," right? It's like, I'm being hyperbolic to prove a point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ben Shapiro obviously doesn't think we should live in a society where we murder people unless they live in Gaza. Is the joke? Get the joke? Do you get the joke? I did choose violence today. Damn. I hope she yeets that baby out of existence so that baby doesn't have to grow up with Walter as a biological connection to her. Just kidding. I hope she has that baby, and that baby dishes both Daisy and Walter. Damn. You see how I'm finding joke after joke after joke? Now, a lot of people are pretty anti-abortion, which I totally understand. I come from a pro-life background. I used to march for pro-life. I used to be pro-life myself. I used to vote pro-life. I absolutely understand what it is. I've been pro-choice for many, many, many years. And I really do think pro-choice means having the baby is just as good as aborting the baby. Those are both good options. Obviously, I think that's your right. But, you know, I believe in your bodily agency, your autonomy, 100%. So just in case you're new to my audience, I believe in abortion. I believe in having the baby. I believe in adoption. I believe in anything that is good for you and the child. But specifically, you know, a harm reduction, right? Like, so more pros than cons is always the goal. It's funny when we were talking about Daisy, I think Abba and even Rashad said something like, you know, it's probably not the best that she has the baby. Probably best that she doesn't, because growing up black, half black, and in China would be really difficult. Now, I understand when Abba says that. Really great point. It would be difficult. When you have an abortion, you're usually making it with a pros and cons list. And it could be for a lot of reasons. Maybe the baby will face racism or poverty or a lack of time with parents. Now, of course, we're not saying, and I know Abba, he wouldn't say this, we're not saying you should abort babies who are black in China. We're not saying you should abort babies who are born in poverty. We're not saying any of that. But when you look at an individual situation and you say, this would have made sense, I'm saying your right to abortion is your right, and you get to do it for any reason. I am pro-choice, right? But if you're pro-life, if you think abortion is bad, if you have, you know, any kind of relationship with abortion where you're like this is a horrible thing to say, then you're
how can she hold the idea that she believes in whatever's best for you and the child is what's good to do, but like, okay, single parent household, the father not there. Okay, if the father's not fucking there, he's obviously not fit to be a father. Or if the mother's not there, she's not fit to be a mother. Like, why should someone who doesn't want to be in the child's life be in the child's life? That's not good for the child either. Most children are going to be in the best situation that they can be.
I don't think she addresses the comment of your baby better off dead at all.
Yeah.
Like, and those are particular words. Those are very direct, like, and it can even be said in a joking context. But it's like, you know, you're saying something very specific there, even in your context of like, like single parent, it's like you're basically saying anyone raised that way, anyone brought up in a struggle like that, are more likely, and I don't even care if this is true, but it's dehumanizing nonetheless, and like disgusting to me, where it's like you're more likely to be a less worthy person than somebody born in like privilege and shit like that. It's fucking gross. I hate people like this. Holy shit. I bet she grew up with a fucking silver spoon.
Yeah, like, I mean, if death's better than being a child in a single parent household, I'm pretty sure everyone who grew up in a single parent household had that option at hand. Like, if they didn't self-delete, I'm pretty sure they preferred life.
What was annoying is I had arguments with people about this, and they're like, well, technically, and it's like, well, if you want to be like super descriptive, there are certain circumstances where, yeah, it's pretty understandable why you'd probably not want to have a kid, and that kid would probably be raised in a certain situation where they're gonna struggle with a lot of shit, to where like life is like unbearable. Very rare scenarios, those certain cases, I understand, I get that, but like she's broadening it to like as much as like a Destiny's Kids, like she's putting it into that range where it's like, bro, like I'm sure Destiny's Kid is living life pretty damn decent by comparison to a lot of people. So
the only way her take really makes any sense is like eugenics, like it's best for society because single parent households breed more criminals.
Yeah, I just
Is that too wild? Is that too
I'm very much a person who's just like, all human life has worth at the end of the day. And I get it, like the criminal thing, but like criminal is also pretty broad, and I also believe in like redemption and like people changing and people being able to grow, and being treated with respect anyway.
We have to engage in ethnic cleansing.
Yeah.
Struggle isn't bad, man. Like anyone who thinks struggle's bad or struggle's not a reason to live, they should just fuck right off.
Yeah.
What the fuck is with the race comments too? Like that's not a reason? Like
was that a soundbite?
No, that was just me talking. Like
okay.
Oh, shit, my mic is muted. My bad. It was ABBA who said that. The race thing. It was growing up half black in China would be incredibly rough. Incredibly rough.
Why?
So I don't know if he was saying she should get an abortion for that reason, or if he was saying he thinks she probably will because of that.
I see.
Yeah. Oh, she would anyway. She didn't want the kid. She wanted the cash. If she cared at all about the kid, she wouldn't have been putting down barriers for him being able to see the kid if he ever changed his mind and wanted to be a father.
Also, Brazilian lad, yes, I do have firsthand experience of growing up half black in China. If you couldn't tell. Yeah.
What?
I'm Blasian, of course.
I knew there was something different about you from...
You don't get them Chinese wet market looking hands from nowhere.
Dude. I know that's not Butterclaws talking down there.
Oh my god.
I'm done. No. I yield.
That was wild.
Malicious things out of what I'm saying. Let's finish the context, and then I'll show you how this plays out in real life when having that abortion conversation. So if you're pro-life, I totally get it, but I'm pro-choice, so. Oh, that's funny. Whew, I'm funny today. It's too much, guys. It's too much.
Trib is doing a racism in chat.
Abortion is usually the termination of a fetus that you do not have a relationship with yet, depending on how you feel about it. My mom always felt she had a relationship with her children, even when they miscarried. Some people in some cultures even bury their miscarriages, have funerals for them. Some people don't. Some people have a miscarriage and call the next baby a rainbow baby. Some people
believe what you want to believe, blah, 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 blah. It's always like...
that we're all treating it the same. But,
it gives off that energy of like, I want to please everyone.
Relationship with that child in a
yeah. It's just...
You know she's saying shit just to like get out of potential consequences too by like going over every single fucking possible scenario. Like, chill, dog.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole thing is like all these other people are bad and doesn't even really address what she did properly.
Yeah.
Like in a very concrete way. We're not talking about post-abortion. We're not talking about killing any children. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about abortion, which is bodily agency, right? Autonomy. All these people making the dumbest decision I've ever seen and have the audacity. Oh, the people I've seen going after Daisy as if to lecture her as if they're not also a piece of shit. These people lecturing Daisy and calling her like a gold digger. Ma'am, look, okay, so this is the context. So just a reminder, I'm talking about Andrew Huberman. I'm talking about Justin Waller. I'm talking about all these things. I'm building it. I'm building the criticism. I'm talking about Fresh and Fit in the Manosphere. Okay, I'm making jokes and it's too much, guys. It's too much. It's too much. All these people making the dumbest decision I've ever seen and have the audacity. Oh, the people I've seen going after Daisy as if to lecture her as if they're not also a piece of shit. Comment sections, tweets, so many Manosphere TikToks. Holy shit. The amount of Manosphere TikToks going after Daisy or women in general, where they are literally creating babies and ditching them, is amazing. My favorite TikToks are the ones of women showing how many of the guys in the Manosphere actually have baby mamas and children they do not take care of in any capacity or on a spectrum. These people.
And that's a reference to red pillars in general.
Ma'am, look in the mirror. Ma'am, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. You don't even want your own kids. You think Walter wants his? The same people
That's
that don't even
specifically directly
now, obviously, really
to
fast,
like Destiny, the gold digger line. And I think it could be a reach. I think JSTLK said like Destiny is a girl's name, and she's saying ma'am. That's probably a reach, but I think that was just
also I noticed that's just something she says, because when she's explicitly talking about JSTLK, she says girls. She's talking about JSTLK and the people on his stream, and she calls them all girls. So the ma'am thing really doesn't matter anymore.
And like earlier stated, it's just like, well, like Manta says like she was lumping in like red pillars in Destiny, and I'm like, well, yeah, there you go. Like, you agree
Girls
with
are
me.
funny, Wendy. Okay, get over
She
it.
suggested it. A little bow tie at the end of like, you don't tuck in your kid, and you already made statements about like how you feel about like kids that are not tucked in by both parents. They're better off dead comment. Like, there you go. Simple as that. It's not hard. Not hard to understand.
This is bad.
Get your screenshots here.
And tuck your kid at night is meant to like it's meant to say spending time and having accessibility to your child. Obviously, this is videos about me. I'm trying to explain to you how my brain works, right? It's really not about the people I'm talking about. I'm trying to explain to you how my brain works. When Brittany says tuck your kids in at night, she doesn't mean tuck your kids in at night. Though my parents did say good night to us every night, 8:00 p.m. Good night, mom. Good night, dad. Good morning, mom. Good morning, dad. Like, we had rituals in our household. We're very ritualistic, like habitual family, like our habits. So we would say good night, and that would be what I mean by tucking kids in. But it's accessibility. So if you're co-parenting with your divorced partner and you guys are co-parenting and you see your kid every other weekend, that's great. That is tucking your kid into bed at night, because you are there, you are present, you are accessible, you can go to school events, doctor's appointments. Your kid could come over to your house when things are going bad. So when I say tucking your kid at night, that includes single parents who are working their hardest, grandparents, villages that come together to take their children.
Tuesday, she's referencing that, but she's also referencing,
like I said, like co-parenting situations.
Households.
All of that includes tucking your kid at night, because you're doing the best you can with a horrible situation. You are saying, as horrible as this is, we're going to do our best, versus coming from a place of privilege, like Walter, who has lots of money, who could be definitely present in his child's life and is choosing not to do it. Which, by the way, I'm pro-choice, so Walter not wanting to have children is okay. Walter having unprotected sex with women and assuming they could have abortions like birth control, I think is wrong, but different morals. The audacity to lecture them about parenting. Sir, you don't even tuck your kid into bed every night, sir. Do not lecture Daisy or Walter about parenting if none of y'all tuck your kids into bed. I don't want to hear it from your mouths.
Who was lecturing Daisy? Who called her a gold digger?
Destiny.
Who doesn't tuck their kid into bed at night?
Destiny.
Weird.
Ma'am. Okay. Ma'am.
I wonder what she meant by they're better off dead.
Absolutely.
I still haven't heard that.
If none of y'all tuck your kids into bed, tuck your kid into bed every night, sir. Do not lecture Daisy or Walter about parenting if none of y'all tuck your kids into bed. I don't want to hear it from your mouth.
Exactly like Destiny in every single way. But she didn't say the name. So, she's fine.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just a coincidence.
There's this fucking fat jolly guy that lands on my roof once a year on Christmas. Fucking brings presents.
His name's Nick, though.
With reindeer. No.
His name's Nick. I wasn't talking about Santa. It's Nick.
Kilo. Kilo. Everyone here cares because people are trying to gaslight us, and Brittany's trying to gaslight us, and is saying that like, well, I don't even know why she's trying because she admitted to me that she suggested it was about Destiny. I was mad at her comment in general, but people are saying like, oh, she wasn't referring to Destiny and Nathan and Nathan at all, which is Destiny's kid, which he obviously was. So that's why we care.
Kilo, it's not even about Destiny. It's about the fact that it's a kid that isn't a fetus. Yeah. It's like a kid that could sort of understand what she's saying, but not fully. Because he's what, 12 or 13?
Yeah, I care about the lie and I care about the take. I care about both. I can care about both. I don't have to choose one, Kilo.
Yeah, she's just being slimy about it. Just kind of fucked up to say that about a fucking kid.
No, Tuesday. One single parent households don't immediately mean that you are a abused, neglected kid. I don't think one single parent households necessarily always mean that, especially in Destiny's case. I don't think that's probably the way he's raising his kid. I would imagine there might be some sort of distance that the kid feels some sort of neglect in some sort of way, sure. But I'm sure he's still emotionally there for him. And like, if like the kid needed and wanted him like nearby, like he wanted to live with him, I'm sure Destiny would like invite him over, like have him stay at his house for like a good period of time. Like, I can't believe you guys got me defending Destiny. Come on, chill.
And that's not really statistically true, Tuesday. You're injecting a whole lot of context that wasn't actually in the stream.
No, you can say someone's a bad parent. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll stop after this. You can say someone's a bad parent and criticize them, and it doesn't have to be targeting the kid. You can do that, absolutely. The problem is that like you're suggesting at a certain point that if someone's better off dead because they're in a one single parent household or they're like growing up in some struggle, you're saying something about their potential future and their character and how they're going to live when that's dehumanizing, and that's not the case. You're just adding in a whole bunch of shit, and that like is dehumanizing to the person. Like Brittany's a privileged person, I'm sure. She didn't have to worry about like that kind of environment growing up in. Like that fucks with people.
Knowing that Destiny's a single mother of color, it's actually pretty disgusting to see how quick people are willing to judge her.
So true.
Also,
I don't think Brittany was raised that well, dude. Her parents weren't that good.
Yeah,
she made like the worst porn I've never finished.
Oh my god.
Like better off dead. Better off dead
jokes,
basically means never being born, Kilo. It's the same thing to me in this sense. Like, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Wild, bro. Absolutely wild. Lecture, absolutely wild, ma'am. You know who's a better parent than the parents who don't tuck their kids in at night? People who decided not to have babies. This is the salacious part, but check it out. People who've had abortions. Okay, obviously on stream, when I laugh obnoxiously and I'm moving over, I'm obviously being funny, right? I watch a lot of comedians. My channel used to be actually on the comedic category because I was just cracking jokes all the time, right? In my other life, I was
I'm being funny. I watch a lot of comedians. I like know what I'm doing. I'm actually like super well versed in like professional comedy, and like this is exactly what I'm doing, like to a T.
A comedian. I'm making a joke, but I do, and I'm making a point of activism, like a statement. I'm so funny. There is this narrative in the world, and I'll rewind it for just a moment after I'm done. There is a narrative in the world that people who choose not to have kids are selfish, but I would actually say it's a good parenting move. When you know you're not able to give that child a life, when you know you're not able to be a present parent, when you know and you make a decision for yourself and that child that benefits that child, that is good parenting. I think a lot of the time we assume people who choose to not have babies are bad people because they're like not, or they shouldn't have an opinion on parenting because they aren't parents. But I would actually say the reason often people choose not to have babies is also could be, in many cases, for the sake of the child, right? Or the sake of their own life. Because honestly, I think that is so overlooked because we just think like, you'll have a baby, it'll be fine. Not taking into consideration hormones, finances. What if you have an illness or chronic health issues? Like I have fibromyalgia. What if you have instability with work, or you travel a lot, or you work on a ship and you're in the military. There's so many reasons not to have kids that is also benefiting the child that hasn't come into existence or has been terminated, right? But that is the narrative. That's the joke. I'm arguing for
no one
people.
said
I'm arguing
anything
the narrative
is
of Fresh
wrong
and
with
Fit.
this tape.
I think that sometimes
How are any
people
of
like to
those
pretend.
people
Just have a kid, we'll figure it
if
out.
they're that
Sure, that's also an option
isolated
because I'm
in the
pro-choice and I
first
believe in that,
place?
and believe in your ability to make that choice. But in a privileged world where we have money and education, I think it's better
It's
to
a
have safer sex,
non-issue.
and it's better to maybe terminate pregnancies if necessary. It's up to you. I would never condemn you for having a baby. Bringing a baby into the world is a beautiful thing, but it's a very complicated and nuanced thing. Same with terminating a fetus, right? So keep that in mind.
I just want to remind everyone here. This is professional gaslighting, by the way. She's just turned the entire conversation into something completely else. She's evading the criticism. She's dodging in every direction. She's turning. She's trying to make the criticism. I think she even started off with saying like, people are saying that I want kids
Thanks for the
dead
$6,
or whatever,
Lynn.
or I want kids harmed or whatever. No one said that. And then she's also trying to basically turn it into a pro-life, pro-choice thing. No one said anything like is wrong with. At least I don't know any of you guys' opinions on this shit. But as far as my take and JSTLK's, I'm sure, I think most of us are pretty much good with pro-choice. The problem becomes when you make it really personal, and then you insert the children and the kid, a specific kid, and you say something about their like living conditions being something that could result in something like worse, when that's not always the case. You're turning it into like a dehumanized situation. Like you're dehumanizing the kids by involving them in that kind of way. Yeah, that's the criticism on my end.
Pro-choice is when you let the baby decide, right? So you can get
How stoned are you, Neve?
Very.
I don't care how she got there, she was still right.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty. I almost respect it. She's really good at doing this. She's very good at being manipulative. Very good at like confusing everything. She like talks
Nave's
like this
not
constantly.
manipulative.
Yeah.
No? Gatekeep girl boss.
Renee.
Gaslighting.
Absolutely wild. Lecture, absolutely wild, ma'am. You know who's a better parent than the parents who don't tuck their kids in at night? People who decided not to have babies. People who have had abortions. Woo, fuck. Your baby better off dead. I said what I said. Tell the pro-lifers to cry into their tissues right now. But don't come into your tissues because those are babies' lives you are wasting. So don't come into your tissues if you're a pro-lifer. Just cry into a tissue. Because you don't want to actually risk baby life by doing that. Oh, God. Somebody take my mic away. Somebody take my mic away. Whew. Oh, fuck. I'm so good at my job, bro. So good at my job. So good at my job. Like the stream, guys. Like the stream. So good at my job. She's so good. She's so good. I love her. Okay, I love her. She's making a point. She's making fun of pro-lifers. She's making fun of the Manosphere. I'm talking about the Alpha Bros right now. I'm talking about Daisy. I'm talking about all those Manosphere on the TikToks I saw. All these people trying to capitalize on Daisy, lecturing her about being a bad mom when they don't even hang out with their kids. All of that, right? Okay. This is why he took me so far out of context. Now, there's obviously more we could watch. So this is 53 minutes in. We watched from 47, 48 to 53 minutes, okay? He took me so out of context. The first time I bring up Destiny, the one time I bring up Destiny in the stream, this is 53 minutes in, is 109 minutes into the stream. So like 20 minutes later, Destiny gets brought up, right? Let's check that out. She slept with Walter, so she can't be that cool. Okay, I'm making fun of Daisy. I'm saying, how good of a person can Daisy be if she slept with Walter? And then what do I need to watch? Tree spreads misinformation. Hold on, let me rewind it a little bit. Okay. But yes, yeah, I got you. I know what you were trying to say. It's okay. It's okay. You know, Brock says English is not my first language. It's okay. It wasn't my parents' first language either. I'm used to dealing with immigrants. You're fine. True. My parents. Eacher says Daisy answered questions from JSTLK, Tree, Logic, and Destiny. Attacked her. It would be good to react to. Honestly, it was boring as fuck. I watched it because my Discord was like, watch this, Brittany. I was like, it can't be that interesting, bros. And it wasn't. I blocked most of those people. Tree, I blocked her for slander. Cherry, blocked her for slander. JSTLK blocked him for slander. All these people literally take me so out of context and claim some higher moral ground. Look what he's doing now. Those two clips are so far apart in each other in the stream, and he had the audacity to clip it as if I said it in reverse, and the way he said it, like the way I said it is so malicious. Like I can't decide if JSTLK is being malicious or not. But look at the context. Audience was also interested in that video, but honestly, guys, it was boring. I watched it. Why do I want to watch like losers lecture another person? You know what I mean? Like Daisy seems interesting. I don't know much about her, but she slept with Walter, so she can't be that cool because she's Miss China and she's a bodybuilder, and that's interesting. But otherwise, like she hangs out with Fresh and Fit, gross. And then what do I need to watch? Tree spreads misinformation on the internet. True. JSTLK creates drama that isn't real. True. Destiny's blocked. True. For being a shit father and a shit partner. And how dare he lecture Daisy over parenting when he doesn't even tuck his kid into bed every night. Which does not mean literally tucking your kid into bed, though I think that would be beautiful. It would be a co-parenting situation since him and his ex do not get along and in the same household. It would be a co-parenting situation, which is tucking.
Yeah.
How weird is
That's
it that she just recreates the clip?
Yeah.
She's like, hey guys, let me flip it for you. It was out of order. Same thing.
Yeah, it's like it's like just a longer version. You can definitely make the argument where it's like the way JSTLK clipped it is more malicious, but it's a summation of basically what she says in the stream, where it's like,
yeah, I think someone noticed it, connected the dots, and then condensed it.
Yeah, you present an idea of like what happens to kids when they're not aborted and they're born into single parent households, and how like they would be better off dead. Like you use the term like tucking in their kids, stuff like that. And then you brought it back to Destiny. I mean, she alluded to Destiny earlier as well, but she didn't say his name.
Mm-hmm.
And then she like ends it off where it's like, well, yeah, he doesn't. I don't want to hear him lecturing anyone. He doesn't even tuck his kid in. Like, so you're connecting that with what you said earlier, that like kids like that are better off not born, or are better off dead in general, when that is just not the case. There's so many people that grow up to be like great people who are born into struggle or single parent households, or however you want to label it, like not your privileged fancy pants fucking silver spoon ass like Brittany Simon. It's dehumanizing. It's fucked up. I think it's fucking disgusting. Yeah, she's fucking gross for this.
Your kid at night, being accessible. Okay, my standard of parenting, not yours, not objective. If you disagree, great. This is my standard of parenting. That when you bring a child into the world, they become the priority. Not at the expense of you or your joy, but certainly to the best of your ability. Destiny's a millionaire. He's a privileged person. He has a remote job. He could certainly be available to his kid in that area, but he's prioritizing work, which he's admitted and said out loud many times. He does choose to prioritize work, which is his right, and it's also my opinion that that's bad parenting. That's all I'm saying, right? So this is about Brittany and how I think and why I come to the conclusions I come to. This isn't about like Destiny's the worst person who's ever existed. I just think he's a bad dad. I think there's a job, and a job requires certain things, and he doesn't fulfill those requirements in Brittany's worldview. If you disagree, that's fine, but I certainly did not wish any ill will on a living child. I certainly didn't say what JSTLK said I said. I certainly didn't deserve any of the hate that was brought towards me for a clip so taken out of context that now I have to make this whole stream. But I think this is more about JSTLK and the people who hang out with him a little bit, but not everybody, because I like some of those people, okay?
No one said that.
And I think this is like my opportunity to make sure people know, like, I know who I am, and I know I would never say something so disgusting. I would never wish harm on a child. And to say that I would wish that is so dishonest. Girl, I don't want to hear some
you basically suggested that he shouldn't have been born.
Oh, cool. You're basically Trump. You're like, if do you think Trump is a good dad? Sure.
Okay, buddy.
You're a good dad. I'm always commenting on the parenting. I don't think Trump is a good dad. I don't think Steven Crowder's a good dad. Some people disagree. Does anyone here think Trump is a good dad? Okay. No, I don't need to watch some video of some losers lecturing another person who's loser enough to sleep with Walter about how they're better than her. You think you're better than this woman? Look at your life. You're literally a piece of shit like the rest of them. All of them are shit, lecturing each other about being shit. It's literally losers watching losers lecture losers about not being losers. Ma'am, all these people mistreat everybody around them. All these people lie and gaslight their partners. All these people are shitty people. Spreading misinformation on the internet, lying about people. Girl, don't eat fucking What
Did she just call Ling Ling a loser?
No.
I don't know her actual name. All I know is Ling Ling because other people calling her that.
He's saying Destiny shouldn't be a dad. Okay,
that would be fine. That would be fine if it was like, he should have a different father, something like that. But
I swear she said something about a loser that slept with Walter.
Remedial. Hold on. What was
Daisy.
it?
Daisy's the loser.
Racist mud crab? Question mark.
What?
Here we go again for the third night in a row.
The Trib says she's saying Destiny shouldn't be a dad. Okay.
Hang on. Did you just say you have an order for mud crab? That's me.
I'm dead. What? That was pretty good.
Addie, what the fuck?
Like if she could somehow force Destiny to give up Nathan, she might do it. Oh wait, by her standards, what's the fucking difference? She already thinks like he's a bad dad. That's like too distant. So, like the kid was better off dead or aborted. Okay, I don't even know why you would make that argument. That's a retarded argument. But okay.
I feel like Steelman in Brittany.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm gonna say that she was talking about when both parents aren't tucking their kid in at night.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem. Is that
and if she's making the statement originally that if both parents aren't tucking their kid in at night, that means both parents aren't caring about the kid, as opposed to it'd be a different situation if she's referencing Destiny in that as just him not tucking Nathan in at night.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean that's my criticism basically, is that it's like tons of people are born with like shit fathers not there or whatever. That doesn't mean like they're better off aborted, you know.
No. I'm like,
yeah.
If originally she's talking about when both parents don't care, when both parents aren't tucking the kid in. If that's her original statement that the kid's better off being aborted, then the follow-up to that where she's talking about Destiny not tucking Nathan in, it's not the same thing. It's not the same premise. I just feel like pushing back because everyone's against Brittany. And
sure, yeah.
Allow the
I feel like
Huh?
she like lumped him in though, and it kind of
lumped him in, but it's not
Yeah.
the same premise unless she's making the same statement about Nathan's mother.
I just didn't get that from her. I got the idea of like if there was a single parent household that like that kid was better off dead.
Yeah, and she was saying about red pillars, about men.
Yeah. So was she specifically referencing if men don't care about their kids and don't tuck their kids in at night?
Yeah.
The kid's better off aborted? Or was she
Yeah.
referencing parents?
Men. Like
Men.
red pill men.
Like yeah.
Fuck her then.
Yeah.
Like if it was both parents, I was like, that's a really, really shitty situation. If like the parents cared enough to like put them up for adoption, that's like one thing where it's like, okay, of course that person has like a chance to have value and be able to like they'll start off really rocky, but they could like overcome those kind of struggles. But like I think somebody they're like, you know, is it always going to be the case that like it's better to be born than aborted? And I would say no, there's cases where like it's probably better to be aborted, mostly because if you're like born to be abused like in the most horrific ways or in war-torn areas or something really, really fucking crazy like that, like in like rare circumstances like that, of course, like
I guarantee
you don't want them.
those people would still prefer life.
Yeah, you can even make an argument for that. Yeah, I'd agree with you to an extent. It's just yeah.
We're gonna check to see if I'm right about the men red pillar thing.
My initial joke.
Tuesday says,
and Destiny
I can
being
see her
mentioned.
wanting
He's
to
not
be
even mentioned
harsh.
first. He's not even in the context. So just remember that JSTLK took me so out of context that everyone ran with it and nobody thought to look it up. So check this out. And I'm going to give you context before I say it and after. We're talking about, I had just finished making fun of Jay Waller. Shout out to Justin Waller. I do make fun of a lot of people. You know, I'm happy to talk to anybody, but like, I'm going to make fun of you, right? Okay. I'm going to cast judgment. Okay, I was just making fun of Justin Waller. Now we're making fun of Andrew Huberman and talking about him because Andrew Huberman is a bad partner and would have been a bad dad. And I'm glad he was never able to make those babies come to term, the ones he had, because that woman probably feels relieved that she didn't end up making babies with a man who would have abandoned them, because he did abandon like her, right? Andrew Huberman had that whole scandal. We already covered it, right? So I'm relieved. I'm relieved that that never happened because that would have been really sad. Okay. Now, check this out. There's a litmus test I'm giving to people. If you think Andrew Huberman, it doesn't matter what he did or how he treated women. If you think it doesn't matter how Walter treats women, then you're telling on yourself, and I'm writing you off.
You can't judge
I'm literally
Daisy.
writing you off. If you genuinely do not think, how dare you lecture women for being sluts and having bad character while you're sitting there existing? This full context is within the Walter got Daisy pregnant context. So Walter got Daisy pregnant, and I am covering that news. So I am lecturing all the Menosphere guys, the Alpha dudes. I'm lecturing like Andrew Huberman fans. I'm lecturing all those people right now. The hypocrisy will never not be funny to me.
There it is. The Manosphere guys.
These people have the audacity to make a living mocking women and saying they have bad character while they are sitting here, probably raised by women who they are. I bet their mamas are. I also went after Walter's mama in this clip, which I know is technically socially taboo, but you know, if your mama's a shit person, maybe she raised a shit son. You know what I'm saying? I think that's often true. The same women they're lecturing, I bet they spend their life talking shit on women because they can't say it to their own mama's
Bad
face.
men are women's fault.
I think they're pussies, bro. I think they
Agree.
want to talk this shit to their mama's face, but they can't do it. So then what they do is they get all these women to come on their podcast and they do it to them instead. Ain't no way you've got a good mama and you spend your life talking shit about women. There's no way.
Hey, if you're a liberal and you're pro-choice, technically everything ever in history is women's fault because they always had the choice to abort you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't believe you, bro. I love
Can't be a liberal and a feminist.
good men.
Kidding.
My dad's a good man. He is. My dad would call men like,
Actually, that's hyper-feminism. Because you're giving women a ton of responsibility.
It's not just equality, bro. They've got all the power in that respect.
Oh, I'm cringe.
like this, rats. Rats. He would call Walter a rats in the chat. I was raised by, in my culture, in my background, cheating is very taboo. Nobody cheats. Everyone dies with their partners. Everyone lives long and happy marriages. My grandparents were together when they were so in love, my grandparents. It was so beautiful. My aunties, my uncles, my parents, everyone's been married 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. I come from a long line of very strong marriages. Rat. My
Yeah,
dad's
this
a
is
good man.
gonna be kind of
If you're like my dad,
maybe
we
this is a
chillin'.
little too much. But if she is she okay. If she has borderline, that's almost always built on abandonment issues. So doesn't that contradict what she's saying right now, or am I being a little too overcritical?
I come from a long line of very strong marriages, literally prequel to like open relationships.
Okay, anyways, that's all I had to say.
That was wild.
If you're not like my dad, you're a bad man. That's basically how I feel.
I said, who's got the fucking seething and coping song for her?
The seething and coping song. What am I unaware of?
Like she can't tell people that they should have aborted their kid when she's upset, but you, Emery, can tell people to kill themselves when you're mad. Yeah, if you're dehumanizing children, yeah, I get the pass. Fuck you.
You are coping and seething.
There ain't no way you have a good mama, a good mother, a good spawn bringer, okay? And this is your decision in life. You know? I just don't believe you. But you know, whatever. You're willing to call other women hoes? Look at your own mama. Okay. You want to blame these women for being
Sure,
fatherless?
call me
I
just
blame
a
you for
scope,
being
yeah.
mamaless.
That's
Or
fine.
mama, what's worse? A mom that's in your life that makes you a misogynist, or a man who leaves your life that makes you a slut? Both are pretty bad. And also, at the end of the day, you got to make a decision. Are you your parents' mistakes? Or are you more than that? Now, of course, you got to go to therapy to deal with that, because that shit... Exactly. So it doesn't even matter who your parents are. What matters is who you are. But yes, it matters who your parents are. It actually does impact you as a child. And the probability of you not repeating that cycle is... unless you do the work. This is all context, by the way. All of this is leading to the statement I make that JSTLK took out of context. And JSTLK even had to switch when they happened to make it look worse than it was. Because it wasn't even about... I haven't even mentioned Steven. Destiny has not even been talked about in this live stream.
Because every
Brittany
sentence, every single sentence within like 3 hours of the clip is context for the clip. Even if it has nothing to do with the clip, it's part of the clip. Because it's the clip, and the clip is the
Addie's-
clip. And I like context for the clip.
Addie's spitting right now. Addie's always spitting. Shout out to Addie. They're trying to
Brittany
use
Simon?
they're trying to use Darvo on me. It's not
I can't
working.
talk now.
Darvo's.
I don't care. I can tell people to kill themselves if they're dehumanizing children. Fuck them. I don't care. I don't care. Fuck you. Say what I want.
Barry.
Okay, what I've been patiently trying to say is that Brittany Simon is like the millennial version of an evangelical. But she's like evangelically millennial. I can't explain it any other way. It's just this like infuriating like personality type to listen to. I don't know. I'm a millennial too. I think that's why I can point it out and appreciate it in some fucked up kind of way, I guess. Not appreciate, but you know.
I wish there was
I
another
guess,
way to explain
silently.
that.
Yeah, I'll tell you how. By you not talking under any circumstances. That's silence.
I'm unsubbing. Fuck you, Neve.
I am talking about the Manosphere right now. I'm talking about those people, right? Destiny as a consciousness wasn't even brought up yet until the very end of stream. This is like 49 minutes in now. We're 50 minutes in. Okay, I'm still building up to the statement I'm making. Okay. Motherless behavior. Motherless behavior. Fresh and Fit is motherless behavior. All these whatever podcasts, motherless behavior.
Addie, I've been told I just hold a scuffed JSTLK stream more than 10 times.
Trib, define sucking my cock. Why don't you fuck off, little loser?
Oh, he thinks it's a W. Possible branding change?
All the women they have on the show, fatherless behavior. They honestly deserve each other. All you all are parentless. You were unloved as children. And obviously, I don't know this, right? I'm making a joke. I'm also saying something that I generally believe about people, that trauma is real, and that your culture raises you, and that anytime your parents were bad parents, it shows in your behavior. And
Oh, I'm so stupid for this. JSTLK.
Just dangle.
That would be the rebrand. I'm never doing that, but fucking Christ.
also, like, people say this about everybody. This is a pretty common idea that, oh, you know, how you ended up is your parenting. That could be true. It also can't be true. It's nuanced. But obviously in this instance, and I was really fiery this day. I was really spicy this day. Okay, I'm making a lot of jokes in high sarcasm to make my points, right? I'm trying to make a point that Walter and Fresh and Fit are not qualified, nor anyone who falls into this category, which in this case would include Stephen Bonnell, to lecture people about being bad parents when they themselves either aren't parents, or if they are not up to the standard in which I would qualify them as good parents. They might be doing their best, and I think lots of parents are doing their best, but I also think most parents are bad parents. And the ones that are ironically are doing their best always think they're doing worse than they are. You know how many amazing parents I have in my audience? How many amazing parents are doing so much? They're doing absolutely the best they can. They're trying so hard to prioritize their children, right? And they're like, Brittany, am I being a bad parent? I'm like, oh my God.
You're
it's like
so
the parents who are
fucking
doing
high.
the bare minimum barely, or even abandoning their kids, want all the credit. And the people that are literally doing everything they can still get down on themselves. And isn't that the irony, right? The irony is the people who need to improve think they're doing enough, and the people who are doing enough think they need to improve. And that's just life. You have no one to go home to on the holidays. I hope she does abort that baby so she doesn't have to have Walter as a dad. Just kidding. All life is sacred. Just kidding. I don't believe that either. I don't believe in objective morality. But also, I'm making a lot of tongue-in-cheek jokes like I do when Baron Shapiro says, we need to live in a society where we don't kill people unless they're unless they live in Gaza, right? It's like, I'm being hyperbolic to prove a point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ben Shapiro obviously doesn't think we should live in a society where we murder people unless they live in Gaza. Is the joke? Get the joke? Do you get the joke? I did choose violence today. Damn. I hope she yeets that baby out of existence so that baby doesn't have to grow up with Walter as a biological connection to her. Just kidding. I hope she has that baby and that baby dishes both Daisy and Walter. Damn. You see how I'm finding joke after joke after joke? Now, a lot of people are pretty anti-abortion, which I totally understand. I come from a pro-life background. I used to march for pro-life. I used to be pro-life myself. I used to vote pro-life. I absolutely understand what it is. I've been pro-choice for many, many, many years. And I really do think pro-choice means having the baby is just as good as aborting the baby. Those are both good options. Obviously, I think that's your right. But, you know, I believe in your bodily agency, your autonomy, 100%. So just in case you're new to my audience, I believe in abortion. I believe in having the baby. I believe in adoption. I believe in anything that is good for you and the child. But specifically, you know, a harm reduction, right? Like, so more pros than cons is always the goal. And it's funny, when we were talking about Daisy, I think Abba and even Rashad said something like, you know, it's probably not the best that she has the baby. Probably best that she doesn't, because growing up black, half black, and in China would be really difficult. Now, I understand when Abba says that. Really great point. It would be difficult. When you have an abortion, you're usually making it with a pros and cons list. And it could be for a lot of reasons. Maybe the baby will face racism or poverty or a lack of time with parents. Now, of course, we're not saying, and I know Abba didn't say this,
Brittany
we're not
just
saying
hates
you should abort
Destiny
babies who are black in China.
gnomes and
We're not
goblins
saying
are
you should abort babies who are born in
natural
poverty. We're not saying any of that. But when you look at an individual situation and you say, this would have made sense, I'm saying your right to abortion is your right, and you get to do it for any reason. I am pro-choice, right? But if you're pro-life,
Did
if
she
you think abortion
basically
is
just
bad,
say if you're going to
if you
face
have,
poverty
any
and
kind of relationship with
racism, you should be aborted?
Yeah.
abortion where you're like this is a horrible thing to say, then you're probably going to mishear me or assume pretty malicious things out of what I'm saying. Let's finish the context, and then I'll show you how this plays out in real life when having that abortion conversation. So if you're pro-life, I totally get it. But I'm pro-choice, so. Oh, that's funny. Whew, I'm funny today. Oh, it's too much, guys. It's too much. It's too much. All these people. And just a reminder, in case you guys don't know, abortion is usually the termination of a fetus that you do not have a relationship with yet, depending on how you feel about it. My mom always felt she had a relationship with her children, even when they miscarried. Some people in some cultures even bury their miscarriages or have funerals for them. Some people don't. Some people have a miscarriage and call the next baby a rainbow baby. Some people, people around the world treat it differently. So I don't want to make an assumption that we're all treating it the same. But, keep that in mind that an abortion is before you know the child, before you have a relationship with that child in a very concrete way. We're not talking about post-abortion. We're not talking about killing any children. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about abortion, which is bodily agency, right? Autonomy. All these people making the dumbest decision I've ever seen and have the audacity. Oh, the people I've seen going after Daisy as if to lecture her as if they're not also a piece of shit. These people lecturing Daisy and calling her like a gold digger. Ma'am, look. Okay, so this is the context. So just a reminder, I'm talking about Andrew Huberman. I'm talking about Justin Waller. I'm talking about all these things. I'm building it. I'm building the criticism. I'm talking about Fresh and Fit in the Manosphere. Okay, I'm making jokes and it's too much, guys. It's too much.
Wait, didn't we see this already?
All these people making the dumbest decision I've ever seen and have the audacity. Oh, the people I've seen going after Daisy as if to lecture her as if they're not also a piece of shit. Comment sections, tweets, so many Manosphere TikToks. Holy shit. The amount of Manosphere TikToks going after Daisy or women in general, where they are literally creating babies and ditching them, is amazing. My favorite TikToks are the ones of women showing how many of the guys in the Manosphere actually have baby mamas and children they do not take care of in any capacity or on a spectrum. These people lecturing Daisy and calling her like a gold digger. Ma'am, look in the mirror. Ma'am, look in the mirror.
Who's done that again? Who's lectured Daisy and called it a gold digger? Fucking Destiny, and only really Destiny, has publicly lectured her and called her a gold digger.
And Baby Trapper.
Myron didn't lecture her. Myron didn't lecture her.
Have you guys seen the Parent Trap?
Which one?
Kind of like that. The only one we're talking about. I don't remember it. I just know it was Mary-Kate and Ashley, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the newer one.
Oh, okay.
They made another one?
There's one from like the 80s, and they made one in like the 90s. I might be off by a little bit.
Yeah, the newest one is Lindsay Lohan. I don't know who the oldest one is. But I don't think the Olsen twins have been in a Parent Trap.
No, you're right. I think I got that mixed up because they like doubled Lindsay Lohan or something with like screen shit.
Interesting.
Look in the mirror. You don't even want your own kids. You think Walter wants his? The same people that don't even tuck their kids into bed at night have the. Now, obviously, really fast, I'll rewind it. Tuck your kid at night is meant to it's meant to say spending time and having accessibility to your child. Obviously, this is videos about me. I'm trying to explain to you how my brain works, right? It's really not about the people I'm talking about. I'm trying to explain to you how my brain works. When Brittany says tuck your kids in at night, she doesn't mean tuck your kids in at night. Though my parents did say good night to us every night, 8:00 p.m. Good night, mom. Good night, dad. Good morning, mom. Good morning, dad. Like we had rituals in our household. We're very ritualistic, like habitual family, like our habits. So we would say good night, and that would be what I mean by tucking kids in. But it's accessible.
Parent Trap. There's one in 1961, and then the Lindsay Lohan one was 1998.
Ooh, I was off by quite a lot on the old one then. Shit.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised when I fucking saw that.
Ability. So if you're co-parenting with your divorced partner and you guys are co-parenting and you see your kid every other weekend, that's great. That is tucking your kid into bed at night because you are there, you are present, you are accessible, you can go to school events, doctor's appointments, your kid could come over to your house when things are going bad. So when I say tucking your kid at night, that includes single parents who are working their hardest, grandparents, villages that come together to take care of children, aunties, uncles, grandparents. That includes like I said, like co-parenting situations, all of that includes tucking your kid at night because you're doing the best you can with a horrible situation. You are saying, as horrible as this is, we're going to do our best. Versus coming from a place of privilege, like Walter, who has lots of money, who could be definitely present in his child's life and is choosing not to do it. Which, by the way, I'm pro-choice, so Walter not wanting to have children is okay. Walter having unprotected sex with women and assuming they could have abortions like birth control, I think is wrong, but different morals. The audacity to lecture them about parenting. Sir, you don't even tuck your kid into bed every night, sir. Do not lecture Daisy or Walter about parenting if none of y'all tuck your kids into bed. I don't want to hear it from your mouths. Ma'am. Okay, ma'am. I agree with this. Wild, bro. Absolutely wild. Lecture, absolutely wild, ma'am. You know who's a better parent than the parents who don't tuck their kids in at night? People who decided not to have babies. This is the salacious part, but check it out. People who've had abortions. Okay, obviously on stream, when I laugh obnoxiously and I'm moving over, I'm obviously being funny, right? I watch a lot of comedians. My channel used to be actually on the comedic category because I was just cracking jokes all the time, right? In my other life, I always joke I should have been a comedian. I'm making a joke, but I do, and I'm making a point of activism, like a statement. there is this narrative in the world, and I'll rewind it for just a moment after I'm done. There is a narrative in the world that people who choose not to have kids are selfish, but I would actually say it's a good parenting move. When you know you're not able to give that child a life, when you know you're not able to be a present
parent, it's not a parenting move.
You're not a parent for yourself and that child that benefits that child. That is good parenting. I think a lot of the time we assume people who choose to not have babies are bad people because they're like not, or they shouldn't have an opinion on parenting. They aren't parents. But I would actually say the reason often people choose not to have babies is also could be in many cases for the sake of the child, right? Or the sake of their own life. Because honestly, I think that is so overlooked because we just think like, you'll have a baby, it'll be fine. Not taking into consideration hormones, finances. What if you have an illness or chronic health issues like I have fibromyalgia? What if you have instability in work, or you travel a lot, or you work on a ship and you're in the military? There's so many reasons not to have kids that is also benefiting the child that hasn't come into existence or has been terminated, right? But that is the narrative. That's the joke. I'm arguing pro-life people. I'm arguing the narrative of Fresh and Fit. I think that sometimes people like to pretend, just have a kid, we'll figure it out. Sure, that's also an option because I'm pro-choice and I believe in that, and believe in your ability to make that choice. But in a privileged world where we have money and education, I think it's better to have safer sex, and it's better to maybe terminate pregnancies if necessary. It's up to you. I would never condemn you for having a baby. Bringing a baby into the world is a beautiful thing, but it's a very complicated and nuanced thing. Same with terminating a fetus, right? So keep that in mind. Okay, rewind. Wild, bro. Absolutely wild. Lecture, absolutely wild, ma'am. You know who's a better parent than the parents who don't tuck their kids in at night? People who decided not to have babies. People who've had abortions. Oh, fuck. Your baby better off dead. I said what I said. Tell the pro-lifers to cry into their tissues right now. But don't come into your tissues because those are babies' lives you are wasting. So don't come into your tissues if you're a pro-lifer. Just cry into a tissue because you don't want to actually risk baby life by doing that. Oh, God. Somebody take my mic away. Somebody take my mic away.
Please, God.
Oh, fuck. I'm so good at my job, bro. So good at my job. So good at my job. Like the stream, guys. Like the stream. So good at my job. She's so good. She's so good. I love her. Okay, I love her. She's making a point. She's making fun of pro-lifers. She's making fun of the Manosphere. I'm talking about the Alpha Bros right now. I'm talking about Daisy. I'm talking about all those Manosphere on the TikToks I saw. All these people trying to capitalize on Daisy, lecturing her about being a bad mom when they don't even hang out with their kids. All of that, right? Okay. This is why he took me so far out of context. Now, there's obviously more we could watch. So this is 53 minutes in. We watched from 47, 48 to 53 minutes, okay? He took me so out of context. The first time
Brody,
I
wish
bring
that
up
were the
Destiny.
case. My eyes are just
The one time I bring up Destiny in the
dry.
stream,
I can't keep
this is
them
53
open.
minutes in, is 109 minutes into the stream.
This is helping
so
a
like
little bit,
20
though.
minutes later, Destiny gets brought up, right?
Shit.
Let's check that out. She slept with Walter, so
Brutal.
she can't be that cool. Okay, I'm making fun of Daisy. I'm saying, how good of a person can Daisy be? She slept with Walter. And then what do I need to watch? Tree spreads misinformation. Hold on, let me rewind it a little bit. Okay. But yes, I got you. I know what you're trying to say. It's okay. You know, Brock says English is not my first language. That's okay. It wasn't my parents' first language either. I'm used to dealing with immigrants. You're fine. True. My parents. Eacher says Daisy answered questions from JSTLK, Logic, and Destiny. Attacked her. It would be good to react to. Honestly, it was boring as fuck. I watched it because my Discord was like, watch this, Brittany. I was like, it can't be that interesting, bros. And it wasn't. I blocked most of those people. Tree, I blocked her for slander. Cherry, blocked her for slander. JSTLK blocked him for slander. All these people literally take me so out of context and claim some higher moral ground. Look what he's doing now. Those two clips are so far apart in each other in the stream, and he had the audacity to clip it as if I said it in reverse, and the way he said it, like the way I said it is so malicious. Like I can't decide if JSTLK is being malicious. Look at the context. Audience was also interested in that video, but honestly, guys, it's boring. I watched it. Why do I want to watch like losers lecture another person? You know what I mean? Like Daisy seems interesting. I don't know much about her, but she.
Yes, but it's based.
Does she know?
Walter, so she can't be that.
Probably not.
I miss Doomer Media as well, Addie. I'd rather hear Doomersburg than the smug, self-satisfied, unself-aware. Well, no, I think she's self-aware. Manipulative,
bitch,
rat-infested black hole of a human being. Talk.
Cool, because she's Miss China and she's a bodybuilder, and that's interesting. But otherwise, like, she hangs out with Fresh and Fit. Gross. And then what do I need to watch?
Base. Now let's listen
Tree
to
spreads
more.
misinformation on the internet. True. JSTLK creates drama that isn't real. True. Destiny's blocked. True.
I
For being a shit
literally
father,
just
and a shit
fucking read it
partner,
on
and how dare
Google.
he lectured Daisy over parenting when he doesn't even tuck his kid into
Boy,
bed
that
every
fit.
night. Which does not mean literally tucking your kid into bed, though I think that would be beautiful. It would be a co-parenting situation since him and his ex do not get along in the same household. It would be a co-parenting situation, which is tucking your kid in at night, being accessible. Okay? My standard of parenting, not yours, not objective. If you disagree, great. This is my standard of parenting. That when you bring a child into the world, they become the priority. Not at the expense of you or your joy, but certainly to the best of your ability. Destiny's a millionaire. He's a privileged person. He has a remote job. He could certainly be available to his kid in that area, but he's prioritizing work, which he's admitted and said out loud many times.
After this,
he
I
does
gotta
choose to prioritize
crash.
work. which is his right, and it's also my opinion that that's bad parenting. That's all I'm saying, right? So this is about Brittany and how I think and why I come to the conclusions I come to. This isn't about like Destiny's the worst person who's ever existed. I just think he's a bad dad. I think there's a job, and a job requires certain things, and he doesn't fulfill those requirements in Brittany's worldview. If you disagree, that's fine, but I certainly did not wish any ill will on a living child. I certainly didn't say what JSTLK said I said. I certainly didn't deserve any of the hate that was brought towards me for a clip so taken out of context that now I have to make this whole stream. But I think it says more about JSTLK and the people who hang out with him a little bit, but not everybody, because I like some of those people, okay? And I think this is like my opportunity to make sure people know, like, I know who I am, and I know I would never say something so disgusting. I would never wish harm on a child. And to say that I would wish that is so dishonest. Girl, I don't want to hear some deadbeat dad who, yes, might pay his kids' bills. Oh, cool. You're basically Trump. You're like, if you think Trump is a good dad, sure, you're a good dad. I'm always commenting on the parenting. I don't think Trump is a good dad. I don't think Steven Crowder's a good dad. Some people disagree. Does anyone here think Trump is a good dad? Okay. No, I don't need to watch some video of some losers lecturing another person who's loser enough to sleep with Walter about how they're better than her. You think you're better than this woman? Look at your life. You're literally a piece of shit like the rest of them. All of them are shit, lecturing each other about being shit. It's literally losers watching losers lecture losers about not being losers. Ma'am, all these people mistreat everybody around them. All these people lie and gaslight their partners. All these people are shitty people. Spreading misinformation on the internet, lying about people. Girl, don't eat fucking.
This is also subjective too.
What do I need to watch losers
If Brittany has kids and sticks around,
everyone's gonna have
she's
their
a bad
opinion on
parent
who's a
because
good
those
person
kids
and who's
are
a bad
better off
person.
without her.
You're just bringing in like familial people in when you don't have like a fucking clue about how people were raised at all or their living conditions exactly. Unless like you know the person. Like, I think Brittany Simon is a piece of shit. But I don't know her fucking parents, and I don't know how hard they tried. I don't know their intentions on how they wanted to raise her. You know, kids stray off from their fucking parents all the time. You have good people raising bad kids. Maybe they fucked up in a few places, but they had good intentions.
Yeah,
you have bad parents somehow making good kids. The fuck are you to judge? Someone you don't even fucking know. You subhuman piece of fucking filth.
Yep.
Based.
You don't know them.
At all. Based.
No. Oof. It was interesting hearing Daisy's side, but still, she thought she was in love with Walter. So, you know, I'm trying really, genuinely. Okay, if you want to watch toxic people argue, watch it. It's, you know. Also, you can watch my latest video on Julia and Eileen. Also, toxic people arguing with each other. You know, Justin says I was raised in a single parent household and it's not that important to have someone tuck you into bed every night. Okay. I mean, I'm not talking shit on single parenthood. I think sometimes that happens and single parents do step up and they do amazing things. Everyone's on a journey. You know, if you think it's not that important, great. Do you see the difference? A single parent has got to have time away from their child, but single parents don't have an active participating parent in their life. That would be co-parenting. You would be a single parent, but you would be co-parenting. And the insinuation to me of saying I had a single parent is to say that I also didn't have another one. So I only had one parent. How would one parent be able to be with their kids? They would have to go to work. They would have to sleep. And again, single parents are amazing. They do step up. Maybe we could talk about whether or not there should be single parents, but you know what there definitely shouldn't be? In my mind, people in privileged positions who out of all the people in the world who could be near their child deciding not to be. In my opinion, you don't have to agree. You know what else we don't need? Partners who before the children are even born, Steven Crowder, yelling and abusing and controlling their wives, already setting the precedent that they're going to be a bad father because they already are being one, by being cruel and malicious towards the mother of their children, right? My opinion, we can agree to disagree. It is for some kids.
You don't know
It's not
them.
up to you whether
You don't
it is universally not as
know
important to all kids.
the
Right?
relationship.
I think it's important because it would have been important to me as a kid. Right? You can disagree with that. But also as
It
parents, you cannot be
doesn't
surprised
really
if your kid wakes up
matter.
one day and goes, yeah, I really would have preferred to have a father or mother present in my life than a parent who made money. And also, these people literally say, I prioritize work over my kids. I prioritize work. Kevin O'Leary has a story about this, where he taught from Shark Tank, where he says he prioritized his job for 30 years of his kids' lives. And it's a deep regret of his. So many people have so many deep regrets of not prioritizing their children. And I think that that's the camp I'm more in, which is to realize like prioritizing your kids, not at the expense of your own life, but in a way that signals to everyone you are a family person. I am a family person. Family people spend time with their family. And if you're not a family person, you know, you're a millionaire living in a different state, you've got like this whole different life, or even you're not a millionaire, you're just like a normal middle class person, you're living a completely different life, different people, like you're not a family person. And I think it's better for children to be surrounded by family, right? Even when I think about having kids, I think about where is their village, where are their friends and family and everything. And so I think about that too, but mostly where are the parents? Because like that's kind of a big deal. Now you don't have to agree with that, and we definitely could disagree. I just think the best way to parent is to make the best choices with what you can do. And then acknowledge when you didn't do the greatest. It's like talking to your boomer parents and being like, yeah, you kind of didn't do the greatest here. And they're like, oh, what do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? it's hard to break generational curses, guys. It's hard to have people say I wasn't the greatest parent in the ways I could have been. So many of my friends' parents will call me and be like, I don't know why she's upset with me right now. Didn't I do great as a parent? I was like, you did your best. But nobody was going to have a perfect parent. And because we're not perfect, we're going to make mistakes. And in those moments, we were being bad parents. It was like that woman with the 5 kids on Caleb Hammer we just covered. 5 kids, multiple baby daddies, and no stability. And she just kept having babies. At some point, you're not fulfilling the job description of what I think a good parent is. You're not a bad person because of your upbringing and society and the tools and the education you had, but you are being a bad mother. You're not a bad person because you're a bad mother in this context, right? Some people are bad people because they're bad mothers, but the context would be extreme. So I'm not saying again, I think human beings, if you look at the history of us as a species, I would say we're all good because we're trying our best, mostly good, but we're pretty bad at our jobs. We're bad at being parents. We're kind of bad at being friends. We're bad at figuring out work on ourselves.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to give people
I'm not saying this
like a way to be
as,
lenient without denying holding the self accountable, right? And I
I'm not saying this as a way to say that this is definitely the case, but how does she know that like the best decision for Destiny and his kid is to be with his kid 24/7? Sure, that probably is. I'm sure he's fine. But like, there's a reason he made the choices he made. The long distance choices for work reasons and all that. And from what I can tell, he spends a lot of time on stream. You could just make the same argument with how much work he does. It's the same kind of effect. So you don't know how often he's talking to him. You don't know what he's doing to help his kid at all. You don't fucking know him. So, yeah, I don't know. You're just a slime ball.
Yeah.
The fuck are you to judge?
Yeah, for all she knows, they could be texting each other all day and in VCs chatting at night. She doesn't have a fucking clue, but people are judgmental.
Yeah.
And you know, if people judged her the same way, she'd have a fucking freak outfit.
Oh, yeah. I gotta get some rest. It's like 4:15 a.m. I shouldn't even be up.
Yeah, it's 5:15 for me.
I should be either.
I'm cranky because I didn't get my sleep like I should have, but this was fun.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Night, bud.
Later.
Why, Marie? Yeah, that fucking 2 Mad premiere today, bro, is so creepy. Like, now that we've got more context and shit, and we've seen more stuff, like, it's the foreshadowing is
Oh my
fucking
God,
creepy.
yeah, I was listening to some of it.
Bro, blowing me away. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I only prolonged it by an extra month or 2, I guess. I had to convince him to go to the hospital at the end of that. He did.
Yeah. That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
That's so fucking sad, man.
So we're gonna watch this little bit where Relly talks to this guy that's sort of defending Brittany, and then I'm gonna go to bed. It's not super long.
Okay.
Okay, babe.
And it was like, then I looked at Hassan's just how well
It's
used the
complicated.
around to other people. Oh, hey, Jay Sidekick's here.
Well, yeah, I'm saying it's more complicated than it just being Destiny. There's like a multitude of variables as to how it's gonna pop off.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest issue is the other one about how well your audience moves, but we can argue about it after. This is a guy who got banned from is joining Discord because he got banned. How's it going, man?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Pretty good. So I want you to tell me who she could possibly be referring to, based on what she's saying here.
Okay, thank you for having me. So from what I'm hearing from the clip, I think she mentions the red pillars.
She doesn't. So we'll go back to the beginning.
Sure.
Do you want to join the presentation?
Yes.
I've seen this clip so many times.
So you're thinking about what she's saying outside the context of the actual clip and the actual sentences that she's saying back to back to back to back. So I want you to tell me, because she eliminates the criteria of the people she's speaking about very quickly here.
It's too much, guys. It's too much. It's too much. All these people making the dumbest decision I've ever seen, and have the
She could be talking about the red pillars
the people
here.
I've seen going after Daisy.
Lots of people going after
as
Daisy.
if to lecture her as if they're not also a piece of shit. These
Who does she know well enough to call a piece of shit? Probably a lot of the Red Pillars.
people lecturing Daisy and calling her like a gold digger, ma'am, look.
Gold digger's starting to actually nail it down a little bit more, okay? People who have called her a gold digger.
In the mirror, ma'am, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. You don't even want your own kids.
Oh, you don't even want your own kids. That seems to have really narrowed it down for us, doesn't it? Somebody that she knows doesn't even want their own kids. How many people do you think that is?
Okay, so I'm gonna have to say I disagree with that. I think that from the very beginning of this clip, she is talking about when she mentions that. Can you go back a little bit more seconds?
So you're not gonna answer. Who could she possibly be referring to that doesn't want their own kids? Could you, if you answer that question for me, we can move to wherever you want in this clip.
Probably say the Red Pillars, or the people that she was mentioning at the beginning. I don't think
Which Red Pillars don't want their own kids and say so
or
openly.
the people that she's mentioning at the beginning.
Andrew Huberman doesn't want his own kids.
Yeah, I think so. Well, the person that she's mentioning, I don't remember if that's the exact name, but I would assume that is the person I mentioned at the beginning, because I think that where she says that the person that doesn't want their kids, I don't think she's referring to Destiny on this.
Wait, no, that beer water, that is precisely what Brittany thinks Destiny says, is that he doesn't, like that, when Destiny says, oh, I decided to focus on my career over personal relationships, she thinks he's saying that he doesn't care about his kid and that he went to go try to make his career at the expense of his kid. That's what she thinks he's saying.
With the chat when you have a chatter in the chat.
Yeah, I'm just explaining to somebody who made a silly point.
Hey, can you pause
What I'm
quickly?
saying is at this.
Why did he call him? He was like, because his name is Jay Sidekick. Did he call him beer water, bear water, or what? Like that was
beer water.
It sounded like. Oh my god, it gets super brutal after this. It's funny, but it's like, holy shit. This guy's actually speaking coherent English. I don't know what's going on. Like, he obviously wasn't grasping where the conversation was, but it was such a wild fucking. I just didn't see the conversation going there. It was so random.
At this point, I think she's making the argument from the very beginning that if this entire information that she's saying, or what she's saying, is making a reference to the guys that she's talking to. It's because
Can you tell me who it is? Because I know one person for a fact that she says this about later in this video, that they don't want to be around their own kids.
Destiny is the only person that does that?
I think it's the only person she knows about. Yeah, because I don't think she knows the other Red Pillars personally.
She knows that. She doesn't.
Yeah,
have to
I think
know
she's
somebody.
he's the only person who she puts in this category who she's had a personal relationship with. Maybe Sneeko, but then listen, she could be talking about Sneeko. That's actually true. How would we eliminate Sneeko? Has Sneeko called her a gold digger openly? I would think so. Do you think she's talking about Sneeko?
No, I'm not. No, she's not talking about Sneeko. She's talking about the people at the beginning. I think Andrew is. I think the person that you mentioned. It's just that because she's not mentioning Destiny, or she's not making any reference to Destiny, it makes her a strong.
Hold on. You definitely agree that every attribute she's listed here in her mind applies to Destiny, right?
Was Destiny the only person she actually named?
I'm gonna give you that. That maybe that applies to Destiny.
Except for
well, she literally says it explicitly later. So
and then
but she's
Andrew
not bringing
Kuberman
up
and
Destiny.
Jay Waller.
That
like
is
the
the
earlier.
Do you think you have to refer to somebody to be talking about them? Do you think you have to say their name?
Can.
Do you think you can basically create for your audience a set of elimination criteria that leave only one person you could possibly be referring to? That's possible, right? You'd agree that that's possible?
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Okay.
But in this case, she's already mentioning somebody who she's already talking to about that.
Oh, apparently Huberman doesn't have a kid. I don't know that. I have no idea.
Like I said, because she's mentioning the people at the beginning, I think.
Okay, we'll go back to the beginning. Let's see who the people at the. Do you mean the beginning of this clip, or do you mean from earlier in this?
No, at the beginning of this clip.
Okay.
Oh, it's too much, guys. It's too much. All these people all these people making the dumbest decision I've ever seen, and
See,
have the audacity.
can you stop right now?
Oh,
Just
the
stop
people
the
I've
video.
seen going after.
She does mention all of these people. She's
Yeah.
right now, just to be a little bit more on the worst side.
Like
she does
fucking
mention
who?
the word these people. Just remember to several people. Now, if you want to add Destiny to that, you can make that argument, but she's not just.
Destiny is a part of
referencing-
this, and I'm saying that yes, right now, if I were to hear just that part and say she's talking about Destiny, I would be insane.
No, you can't say that.
Yeah, I would be insane if I was saying that. But then as we move forward, I believe she starts restricting the criteria for who she could possibly be talking about.
No, you can't. She's definitely talking about several people, pretty much at the beginning. So I would assume that it's not just referencing one single person. She's talking about multiple people. I think that is where she's making the argument that this is.
I agree with you
several
at this point that she's talking about several people.
Yes.
What I'm saying is she starts restricting it down, which she often does when she starts thinking about a specific person. And this just happens very often. Unfortunately, I don't have these clips prepared, but she does this quite often actually. And so anyway, she just we can just play it through, but she makes it very clear that she's talking about like a very specific subset of characteristics that in my mind, it seems quite clear to me that can only apply to one person that she knows.
After Daisy, as if to lecture her as if they're not also a piece of shit. These people.
So that I still think they're also a piece of shit. I think that also applies to a lot of the red pillars.
Lecturing Daisy and calling her like a gold digger, ma'am. Look.
Well, who's been lecturing Daisy? There's only one person at this point who's been talking to Daisy from this perspective.
See, the thing is, I don't have enough information to defend this one.
That's why. Hold on. I just have to say, just really quickly, Kelly, that's precisely why the clip being edited the way it was is exactly correct.
I think editing the clip was a major mistake. You should not have edited that clip.
Was not.
You could have made 2 clips. You could have made one clip with this information, with this video, and then the other clip.
3
for
clips
context.
or 4 clips?
But cutting 2 clips into one single clip and then switching.
It's called a magazine.
Wait, do you think we tried to hide the cut?
No, it's not about hiding the cut. It's just that the cut was made.
Okay. Hold on. Do you think it would be malicious if I told somebody about this cut, like before Brittany was upset? On stream.
Well, wait, sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
If I was showing this clip to somebody and I explained that basically they were like, oh, I'd have to see more context on this to know for sure. And I said, oh, just so you know, this first part right here, that's actually from later in the stream. I did this last night before Brittany complained. That's from later in the stream. And we put it in front because then it makes it clearer who she's talking about.
Okay, then I will be very suspicious about why was that made that way.
Wait, no. I'm saying you said you thought it was malicious, and I'm saying it's not malicious. I literally openly told people that's how it was clipped, and that's why it was clipped that way.
Like, I understand that you're being very.
So I thought you said that I was potentially that you thought it was malicious, and I'm saying is it a sign that I wasn't acting maliciously, that I would make it very clear that I did that?
I will say it will be kind of malicious. I will be like, if you presented it to me with that clip, that you said just that situation, I would most likely ask why was that made in that way. And if you tell me that it's because I need to have the full context, it's like I don't need you to give me the context. I will get the context watching the entire information.
Do you think? Go ahead, Kelly. Go.
Do you understand how it looks this way? Like that it would be easy to watch this video and think that she's talking about Destiny, and at least Destiny. Maybe she's referring to other people too, but that people watching this could consider Destiny to be in this box of who she's referring to.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I can definitely see that she could be in that Destiny could be.
Well, no, he
category.
Is. He 100% is.
Could be. Well, yes, could be in that category. But
no. He is because one, the criteria is cut down heavily. No. He is. You have to say he is because she explicitly says so later in the stream. Go ahead.
I will say one
thing.
Well,
regardless, right? If she didn't want it to sound like it was talking about Destiny, she should have been a lot more clear about it, right?
Sure, yes, I will grant you that. I
Then
will say
not all of the responsibility
Finally,
is
a
on
sane
this to go
opinion.
for a Twitter video.
Well, I would say that in order to, say that it's Destiny, you probably have to have the context that with her relationship with Destiny. I will say that that context might have been lost to a lot of people who don't know that she had that kind of like I don't know, like split with Destiny or that falling out with Destiny. In that case, but I would say that it's not so much the issue with this kind of situation is not so much with her saying those things. It's how the clip was made at the beginning. It was more like you didn't have to make the clip in that way. You could have just made 2 clips and you could have given the same information.
Okay, so I could have I could have done that. Do you think it changes the clip materially to switch them?
I think so. It definitely removes a lot of the I guess how would I call this
I would wait. So I'd have to post them separately, and then I'd have to say that they were 20 minutes apart.
Sure. Then in that case, that would be.
Well, you didn't include that part, but go ahead.
Yeah, I would consider that very good because then if you can give the context to people, say, hey, this is a clip where she mentions the whole thing about aborting children, and then 20 minutes later she makes a comment about Destiny, and then you can give that to the audience, and that would be more straightforward. But if you if the clip is if the video is clipped in reverse, it almost makes it sound that the clip is trying to make a point that the reason why she started talking about that was only for Destiny. And I'm thinking, and for me, that's.
And I would correct anybody who thinks that she didn't start talking about this because of Destiny. She was talking about something else, and then because of her obsessive obsession with Destiny, because of her obsession with Destiny, she eventually just starts talking about him. Like she drifts from her actual topic to just focusing on Destiny and then shit talking him and then saying that his kid was better off dead. That is the progression she goes through. That is often the progression she goes through with all kinds of content like this.
Okay, that's actually a better argument. I think,
Imagine being in
that
her
is
head.
the argument.
No, when I
being the what?
I just said imagine being in her head, like with just how
Oh.
fucking round and round she goes. Holy shit.
saw the clip.
Sorry,
the first thing that
but I'm telling you that is the argument I'm trying to make, is that she constantly does this. She's constantly becoming obsessed with Destiny during a video. So hold on, is that the argument? It's not the argument the clip makes. The clip is just saying this happened, but it did happen. The actual argument, now that you're like talking about it with me, it's not. I never once was trying to say, oh, she was covering Destiny and then she said this. That's not a part of the argument at all. It is literally that she always goes into Destiny with everything she's covering, and I can show the same pattern multiple times. With
I gotta go to bed, so good night.
All right, see you, Kelly.
Oh, not even on the screen. Did I turn my camera on something?
You didn't. I forgot to pop this back up.
Wow.
Hold on, Kelly. Hold on. Wait. I'll fix it really quickly.
Kelly got cocked.
Okay.
This is the least quick.
Oh, gross.
What the hell?
Rude, mean, rude.
What the screws?
Okay.
What is
Good
screws?
night.
Bye.
Okay. See ya. Hold on, let me fix this really quickly. Just do that. Yeah, I probably want it stacked right now. Okay. Wait. Do that. Oh, Wolfgang, are you not canned right now?
Oh,
You don't have to, but yeah, it's so annoying to fix the Discord every time.
Yeah, then I'll throw it up. I'll throw it up.
That's fine. Okay. What are we doing here? Yeah. So you're just. I think probably if you don't believe that she's talking about Destiny here, given like I'm saying, the exclusion criteria, the fact that she explicitly says this about Destiny, the fact that this is a little more of a stretch, but I believe it's like very clear that when she's on the Eldrazi stream and Emery says, "You said this about Destiny," she says, "No, I didn't say it," and then he says, "You suggested it," and she goes, "Yeah, but I didn't say it." She's basically admitting that yeah, it was about Destiny, but I carefully avoided saying his name.
Then that would be a point for her because she didn't mention it.
Are you for real?
No, I'm saying because if she comes in and says I didn't mention him, she's correct. She didn't mention him. Now you can say that she implied it, sure, but she didn't mention it. So
Wait, do you think my argument is that she literally said Destiny's name in this portion of the clip?
I think your argument is that she's talking about Destiny.
Yes.
Yes, that's the implication.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like you're getting a little bit lost in the conversation because I've never once said that she said Destiny's name at the start of this. I said I put Destiny's name there because she didn't, and she was just implying it while trying to pretend that I gave her plausible deniability, and it doesn't because she does this all the time, and I can keep posting examples.
No, I was talking about something else. I was referencing her.
Alley cat in the
I'm
chat.
saying, so she doesn't deny suggesting it's Destiny. She, in my mind, basically admits suggesting it's Destiny.
Yeah, I was talking about when that caller kind of confronted her.
Yeah.
And she in the caller said you were talking about Destiny. I said I never said that. I never said Destiny.
It went
She's correct.
terrible,
She
didn't
never
it,
mentioned Destiny.
Ali?
She's right. Even though she
Went
said she
terrible.
could imply, she could be implying Destiny, but she never said Destiny. So she is technically correct in the clip.
She's yes. Do you understand? I feel like we're losing something here in translation. You understand that I'm saying she basically agrees that she's suggesting it's Destiny.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay. This is the weakest argument, by the way. I'm just going through the actual arguments that are on the table. If I was trying to prove that Brittany did this, I would start with all the exclusion criteria she gave, all the previous stuff we went over. I'm just saying that in this clip, I believe she basically admits it.
No, I just
Yeah,
never confirms that.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Sure. I think we're just never going to reach any sort of understanding on this, and I think I've proven my point clearly. You couldn't unfortunately give me anybody else that she could possibly be talking about with the exclusion criteria she gives.
Well,
you keep saying you think it's the red pillars, and I asked you which red pillars does she know well enough to know that they don't want their kids.
I don't know those by name, but pretty much at the beginning she was saying that all these people.
No, I understand that she was saying that. I'm saying that she excludes it down. She gives exclusion criteria for that list of people. She basically narrows it down to one. And then she only mentions one other person at the end of the stream. It's not a reach. That's why I asked you to show me any other people she could be referring to.
No, you need to show me in that clip where she's reducing this.
Oh, sure. I've shown you multiple times, but we'll do it again.
No, the beginning of the clip she's talking about.
Is this the one or is this the one?
I will show
Yes,
you again
yes,
and
then
again
she
and
reduces-
again.
So all of these people make the dumbest decisions. Then they have the audacity to go after Daisy. Is it they're not also a piece of shit? This is wide open.
She said,
People who are lecturing Daisy and have called her a gold digger. Now there's only one interview with Daisy on the internet that's remotely hostile, and the person in that interview is Daisy.
You need to
Sorry,
show
it's
me here
Destiny.
on this clip where she's reducing the language to one single person.
Okay, this right here is one person.
She said people at the very beginning when she started talking about that.
She did, but I'm telling you that there is only one person who has been on the stream lecturing Daisy. Wait, I need you to understand. I need you to understand that she's talking about people lecturing Daisy.
Fucking
Right? Do you think-
semantics hell.
Yes, but there aren't. Wait. Do you think that you can filter a list down to one without referring to a single person? Wait. I just asked you a question. You gotta answer the question. Can you filter a list on some predicate and have that list go down to one while still referring to a plural? Is that a possibility?
Like, if you're mentioning a whole bunch of people, you cannot reduce just one single person just because it's
Listen, there are a lot of retards in this channel. A lot of retards. There are people whose names are J Sidekick in this channel who are complete fucking morons.
Oh, sorry, was that an insult or something? Sorry.
Are you losing the fucking argument?
Again, on the clip, show me where she is changing her language on this clip to reduce it to one single
Sorry,
person.
and I don't even mean this rudely. You don't understand English well enough to have this conversation.
I understand English.
You don't even understand what just happened 2 seconds ago in this
And
conversation.
again, if you want
You're
me
completely
to
lost.
actually,
Shots fired.
Can you show me on clip?
You literally just completely missed what happened in this conversation, and it is sad.
Bro, taking a big fat ESL.
I just gave you reducing. No. I just gave you an example of reducing a list by some predicate.
On the clip where she is saying, I don't need your interpretation. I need her
I'm not giving
saying
an
that.
interpretation. I'm telling you how English works. I'm saying that you can refer to a single person without referring to a single person, and then I showed you exactly how it's done.
That's an interpretation. She's talking about multiple people. You need to show me on
This
the
guy's
clip
brain
where
is
she's talking
broken.
about one single
This guy's brain is broken.
If you can't show me, that's
This
okay.
guy's brain is actually
If you can't
broken.
show me on clip, that means that you don't have.
I don't think there's anything else I can say to you. I think your brain is actually broken. So I don't think there's anything else I can say. Do you want to make any other points?
But you have not proven your
I asked you if I could do this, if I could filter this list down to a single person without having to refer to a single person. I have showed you on the clip. I have showed you on the clip both places. Hold on, I've showed you both places on the clip where she reduces it down to a single person.
Talking about multiple people, man.
And I showed you in this exact conversation how it can be done. You reduce it to one person while still referring to multiple. There are multiple, so obviously.
You know what? I'm gonna watch where they argue tomorrow. I cannot fucking stay awake. I'm fucked.
Quick question before you
Good
go,
night,
bro.
man.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on Cock from today?
Oh yeah.
Kick or keep.
No, the pics I sent. Yeah, kick or
Fine.
keep, bro.
I'm doing that. I said that, so you couldn't say that. I think it was really good except for the last episode. Or not episode, round.
Yeah, I think Tom was a bit underwhelming. I love Tom. I think his content's great, but like, I do think like Kick or Keep needs a Carantos, like a bigger than life personality, loud, main character syndrome sort of shit.
It needs a big loud retard.
Yeah, exactly. But with absolutely no ability to have any input on the questions or the fucking show's direction or anything. Just like a figurehead that you can throw in front of everyone.
Yeah, because like everything else about the show today was so much better.
Yeah,
It was
100%.
yeah.
Like if you had someone like Carantos who was not allowed to have any input or control, it'd be fucking perfect.
Yep. Yeah.
But and then Tom's like at the end where he shared his opinion on like ways to improve Kick or Keep. I was like, no, that turns it into every other mid-panel show that already exists.
A little bit. Yeah. But yeah, I'll talk to you more about it tomorrow. Maybe I'll fucking be able to respond when I'm more coherent.
Too easy.
All right.
Did you have a chance to talk to Kelly before it?
Yeah, things are a lot better. She addressed some of that stuff. Yeah, it was shocking, honestly. She brought it up.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But yeah,
Did you apologize?
No, but holy shit, did I get a lot of compliments on my work from her.
Yeah. Well, she's obviously seeing who's doing the work now that she's having hands-on to some
I was
extent.
gonna say, it sounds like she just wasn't there for most of it.
Well, for most of the stuff that I did, at least. She said as much on JSTLK stream today, like, about how she was mostly just contacting people sometimes. But yeah, one thing that did frustrate me a little bit when I was listening to her, she was like, yeah, they were gaslighting me in Discord about Wes. I was like, we're not fucking gaslighting you. I told her I didn't even necessarily disagree with her on her perception of Wes. I just said the reason people like Wes is because they feel like whether it is or isn't true that the misogyny stuff is ironic. And she's like, no, I think they make excuses for it and say it's irony because they like him. I'm like, no, because they probably wouldn't have liked him in the first place.
Yeah, Wes is awesome.
It
could be true. It could be true, and I still wouldn't care. He's too funny.
It's a little. Sometimes it's like too edgy. It's just like, you know.
But, yeah, he definitely goes over the line, but that's gonna happen when you're trying to walk the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna step over sometimes.
I think he's starting to flood the line with obesity.
He's muffin topping the
I
line.
was literally just saying the same fucking thing with obesity.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Right.
I got it.
All right, I'm crashing. Later.
Oh man.
Later.
Right.
Go to bed, you
fuck.
Who sleeps?
Never. Just kidding. Bye. Okay. He the unsolicited dick pic guy or no? Unsolicited dick pic guy. I don't think he did unsolicited dick pics, but dick or deep. That's funny. Don't say sorry to that. That was funny. But he did post his dick pic in JSTLK's fucking NSFW channel because they were talking about it on his stream one day. He was like at the Flesh Bridge. It's very odd. Very odd. Very weird. Is what an Abby Blackbird fake account? Oh, no. Oh, and Brazilian Lad. He wasn't talking about under. He was talking about over. Not the bottom, the top. All right. Yeah, he's a weirdo. All right. I'm going to bed. Go fuck yourself.